Germany won. Hello, everyone. Yes. Welcome to the wrestling wrap-up show. By the way, sorry, but I literally, I had actually, try again. I had actually everything set up for a change. I've actually got a cup of tea, no alcohol. I've got my water, got all my notes ready, everything was sorted, and then basically, long story short, I've had another nightmare again. I thought the Germany Ecuador game was on at 11 o'clock this evening. So it was not on at 11 o'clock this evening, and it was on at 9 o'clock this evening. So I've just missed the whole thing. But basically, I've ended up watching that last 7 minutes. Bloody hell, I got nervous at the end as well. But yes, there we go. But yes, welcome to the Wrestling Wrap Up Show. Hello, Boris. How you doing, mate? You're all right? I hope we're live, as far as I know. I don't think I've plugged my earphones in or anything daft like that this evening. Uh, yeah. I mean, you're through anyway, yeah. So it doesn't really matter, does it? I mean, it looks like Germany made quite a few changes as well. I mean, look, at the end of the day, are Germany going to be bothered at losing that match? Really, probably not. I wouldn't have thought. But there we go. Oh, look, there's Moises Caicedo. He's still something rhyming with banker. Yeah, no, I haven't. I still haven't forgiven Moises Caicedo, by the way, despite the fact that that was a fault of Liverpool Football Club for not bidding for him. Ecuador did so well. They look like they played. Sorry, I'm trying to just move all my shit around. Um, yeah, it looks like they played quite well actually. I mean, the last 10, 15 minutes, that fellow with the blonde hair. Look at the state of him. Bloody hell, what time does he start this morning? Like, I'd like to go for a night out with that guy. Crikey. Honestly, he looks like something out of Spinal Tap, doesn't he? Anyway, I'll stop insulting some random gentleman who's just doing this, that, and the other. Let's have a look. Neuer should have went years ago. Well, yeah, I was gonna say like the save. Yeah, that was. I mean, I've not seen the whole match, obviously, because like you said, I've just had an absolute nightmare and got the wrong time basically. But I watched the last 20 minutes and Neuer looked. Do you know, I don't mean this to sound rude, but he looked like Loris Karius about 7 or 8 years ago after he'd had that disaster in the European Cup final. That's the impression that he gave. To be honest, it's a shame for Neuer as well because like he was special back in the day. He was such a good player. I mean, I'm guessing he's what? I mean, how old is he? What now? What's he? 38? Something like that. 38, 37, something along those lines. Um, I mean, I'd imagine this is going to be his last tournament. Surely, I mean, surely Germany have got other goalkeepers. There's an obvious German goalkeeper, isn't there? And I can't for the life of me think what his name is. Oh my god, that's really going to annoy me. See, evidence. Tea tonight. We're being sensible. Because, guys, I'm sorry. Like, I don't know about the rest of you. I did mention this earlier. Am I the only one whose physical fitness um, and just basic like being a human being has gone to shit in the World Cup? Basically, I went to my mum's house last night, and oh, shout out to mum and my bro, by the way, because I told them my news, so everyone now knows what's going on, and they were really good. So thank you, mum. That was thank you, mum. Thank you, bro. Much appreciated. Thanks for the support. But yeah, anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, no, but yeah. So basically, I went round and literally said, right, no drinking of any kind whatsoever. All right, and I needed to be back to say goodnight to my lad and everything and all that business. Blah 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 blah. I needed to be back for 9 o'clock. No drinking. Excellent, nice one. That's why I rolled in this morning at 2:30 in the morning after having drunk a bottle of wine, possibly a bottle and a half with my mom outside in the conservatory, which was very, very nice. But like, guys, seriously, I cannot keep carrying on like this. One of the boys has wrote me in tomorrow to seeing. I don't even know what match we're watching tomorrow. God knows what it is. Is it Norway versus someone or other? I'm sure it's Norway we're meant to be watching tomorrow. And the only reason we're going is because it's like, oh, we need to go out while it's hot, don't we? And it's just like, not just all go to someone's house. It's like, no, we need to go out. So just like, yeah. So my routine, folks, bearing in mind the whole twerk situation as well, I no longer have a routine. My routine has gone to shit. Basically, absolute just shit. Let's have a look. They were terrible. You should have seen the refs. I'll post it now for you. He looked. No, thank you. He looked knackered, retired, knackered. Yes, I saw. Oh, hello, Arlo. Oh, thank you very much, Arlo. That's very nice of you. I've not even actually done anything yet, Arlo. To be fair, but yeah, folks. What if you've just tuned in? Basically, the reason I'm not talking about pro wrestling is because I'm also watching the World Cup and like all my live streams, like my life and my consumption of alcohol, have all just completely gone to shit, basically. I've ended up talking about Liverpool during wrestling streams. I've talked about wrestling during World Cup streams. I've got Ghana going on the background. By the way, I'll just show you that. There we go. Sorry, that's my thing there, but that is the way to Ghana. The Backstars yesterday. Oh, it wasn't yesterday, was it? Christ, it was 2 days ago. Um, let's have a look. Arlo, welcome. Like as well. Oh, thank you, Arlo. That's very, 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 very kind of you, mate. I hope I can do you proud. Yeah, no, just very quickly, folks. The obviously I've calmed down now about the Ghana match. I'm sorry if anyone saw that short, by the way, but I was just very, very emotional. For those of you who don't know, my old fella, I've tell the story a million times. My old fella was from Ghana, and yeah, died a long, long time ago. Watching Ghana is basically the only link that I've got left with him. Yeah. And when, like, the first 5 minutes, I just thought this is going to be England 7, Ghana nil. This is going to be horrendous beyond words. But then we kept going and going and going, and it got to the stage where it got to 65 minutes, and I'm like, we might get over 2-0 defeat here. And then it kept going and going and going to like the 89th minute. I'm still like, we might get away with 1-0 defeat here. And then all of a sudden it got to the 95th minute, and I'm like, holy shit, we might get a point. And then we got a point, and long story short, folks, basically, as you might have seen, because this wasn't like performative bullshit. Basically, I don't know how to do performative bullshit. I tried to do me joke, and I ended up just lumping my throat and going blank for about 30 seconds. Just about managed to hold on to the tears. But yeah, this is why things like Ecuador, I know obviously not cool for yeah and everything, but like this is why this sort of thing means the world to people who don't support you. Your Germany's, your I don't know, Holland's and Argentina and Italy. You know, well, not definitely not Italy, but you know the nations that are expected, and like no one seems to get excited if they get through to the group stage. Like Ghana, pretty much barring a huge fiasco, are through to the second. And when I realised what they'd done, just tears. I had a bit of a cry when my brother went to sleep as well. Yeah, no, it was just special. It just meant the absolute. So again, sorry again. I know this is a wrestling stream. Just want to say congratulations to the Barkstars again. I acknowledge England should have won because they had far more possession and played better than us. But the display, the heart, and the balls those lads showed the other day was exceptional. It's probably, I think that's possibly going to have to be Ghana's best ever result in international football. I mean, we did draw with Germany in a match that yeah we'll remember. By the way, I said this a while ago. If you ever want to watch one of the most insane games of football, type in Germany 2, Ghana 2. I have never seen anything like it. It was like Benny Hill meets Fast and the Furious. It was just bizarre. It was the most bizarre, weird, but brilliant game of football that I have ever seen in my entire life. But yeah, if you ever want to see anything special, watch that one. Arlo, I'm from England. Specifically, I'm from Leeds in West Yorkshire. So, if you want to know where I am about 2 miles away from Ellen Road, the home of Leeds United Football Club, basically. But I'm not one of the locals. I support that team. Next year's league champions in the under 21 league. Obviously, there's more chance of me pulling Jessica out. Anyway, let's have a look. Boris. Oh, Stockport. Oh, very nice, Arlo. Do you know, Arlo, actually, there's really. It's funny you should bring that up, actually. I have this weird. Well, maybe it's not weird, I don't know, but I am an old man. I like going to old school football grounds. On my channel, this isn't well, it might as well be. On my channel, there's a playlist called Geek Boy Does Football, and I've got this really crazy aim to go, and I'm not doing very well on this at the minute, but to go around to every sort of British football club and get it onto the YouTube. I've done 23, but seeing as there's probably in excess of about 200 if you throw Scotland in there as well, let alone like the um, non-league teams as well. If I threw that in, you'd probably talk about 500, 600. I'm a long way behind. Anyway, the reason I'm telling you that, Arlo, is because I've actually been trying to work out, well, not work out, but I'm going to be doing a trip to Manchester, and obviously you know, 'cause you live around the corner. I'm going to try and do something where you get the train from Leeds. I think you can hit Bradford, Rochdale, Macclesfield, possibly Stockport. I'm not sure if they're on the same line, but anyway, long story short, I'm going to try and hit about 4 or 5 of the sort of lower league football grounds, and then I was going to say go to the Manchester clubs, but I'm a Liverpool fan, so I don't think I'll go down. I have been to City, by the way. If anyone wants to see that, that's on Geek Boy Does Football as well. But that was from a few years ago when I didn't have a clue what I was doing, to be honest, and I only worked out that you had to turn your phone this way and not hold it up like that when I was recording the video. And I only learned that about a year and a half ago, which is very, 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 very sad. My very younger brother had to point this out to me. So you do know if you turn the phone that way, it's going to take up a hole on the TV screen. That was like. But yes. Anyway, Arlo, that was a long. That was a very long and protracted way of saying I'm going to try and go to Stockport County's ground at some point in the next. What am I supposed to do? In the next month, give or take. So I will put that on there when I've gone to Stockport. Anyway, let's have a look. I play football as well. Oh, nice one, Arlo. I used to play football many years ago, but very, very badly. I don't even think I could kick the ball now, to be quite honest. I always fancied myself as a good free kick taker, and I used to like try and do free kicks demonstrations for my son when he was way younger, and he was just like, "Dad, you know these free kicks?" I'm like, "Yes, son. Why do they keep ending up on the roof for and not in the goal?" And I'm like, "Oh." Yes, football. I love football. I absolutely love it. I could talk about it for hours, and I'm sure we will do while we're on. But my skills in football are shit, to be honest. So, who do you play for, Arlo? By the way, is it non-league or like youth football, anything like that? Just let us know in the comments. Right, folks. Just very, very quick. Oh, yes. Sorry, Boris. I finished your comment. Bubba Ray got humiliated by Josh Barnett. I saw that, Boris. I saw that. Did you see the thing with Joey Janela as well? Because I've missed all this, to be honest. Because I think, am I right in saying that the whole thing started when Bubba Ray, for some inexplicable reason, started having a go at John Moxley, which is like, right, John Moxley's not totally my cup of tea, but I mean, I have respect for the man after his body of work. I mean, he came up the Indies, wrestled for Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. Um, I think he wrestled for a few Indies in Cincinnati. I don't know much about his early work, obviously, but then obviously he came up through WWE. I thought Dean Ambrose was a fine character. uh, that they completely ruined, and Dean Ambrose could have been an absolute star. There was the whole thing in the Stone Cold interview, which speak to was not hugely impressed with. Then obviously Ambrose came back. Vince had to do these ridiculous segments. Then obviously came back for AEW. He was the huge surprise on AEW's debut with Jericho and was it Jericho? I can't remember that, but it was night one of AEW, and Mox has been. Look, you guys know obviously that I cover pro wrestling, and you know that I'm not the biggest fan of the Death Riders. I'm not. It's not my cup of tea at all. It has got better. I will credit them that. But it's still not my cup of tea. But I mean, I'm very surprised at Bubba, actually, to be honest, because I always thought he was very respectful of, the people in the business. I mean, yeah, obviously he's had to go to a few people here and there, but I always thought that he was very, very respectful of talent who were still wrestling. So I don't know if I've misheard this, Boris, but I mean, John Moxley. I mean, there's so many more other people you could insult, and I think, well, I mean, he's one of the best workers in the world, isn't he? Yeah. Then I think Joey Janela got involved first. Then Bubba Ray started flapping his gums again, and then Barnett got involved after that. Is that timeline right? I think it is. I'm not too sure, but yeah. Do you know what? I'm quite disappointed, Boris. Actually, sorry, folks. I'll get into the main wrestling. I mean, this is wrestling, so um, I'm very disappointed in Bubba actually because he was one, and I know I'm probably in the minority. I always respected the way that Bubba Ray Dudley or Bully Ray Busted Open. I always respected the way that he broke down matches, storylines, gave his opinions, he gave praise if he got something wrong. And I always had respect for him. The reason I don't listen to Busted Open, by the way, anymore is because they have that ghoulish, wretched woman on Sirius FM. I forgot what her name is. Oh, yeah, that wretched Nevin Kelly, who oh God, how does one put this? Made some rather revolting remarks about children about 6 or 7 months ago, and I, as a parent, was highly disgusted with those remarks. Personally asked for an apology from Sirius FM, along with a lot of other people. She was kept on network, and I will not be listening to Busted Open ever again until the foul revolt is moved, basically. Which is a shame because I do like Dave LaGreca. Ironically enough, Dreamer as well. I quite like Bishop Dyer when he was on. Really like Nick Nemeth, the way he broke things down as well. It's a shame, but I'm not listening to a station that condones horrendous comments like Nick and Kelly, mate. Anyway, I'm just stepping off my high horse now. Let's have a look. Oh, I will be in Greece. Sorry for writing. Oh no, that's all right, Arlo. Don't worry about it. Hyde United. Oh, very good. Excellent. Well, good luck to you with that. Well, if you ever make it to the Premier League, Arlo, remember who your friends are. Um, and if you can do me the favour and I can be one of your interviews, then that would be awesome. By the way, I'm throwing this out there. Does anyone else who's a football fan watch Under the Cosh? If you don't watch Under the Cosh, please watch Under the Cosh. It is one of the most hilarious football programs that I've ever seen in my life. But yeah, that's my recommendation for the evening. I did see the Jalala stuff. Yes, Bubba wanted to shoot with well, Barnett says we can shoot. I'll kick your ass. Bubba said I want to work Josh and bitched out. Ha ha. Oh, then Jalala got involved. All right, fair enough, Boris. I mean, it's to be honest, Boris. Like I said, I tried to trace all this, and I just don't understand what was the need for. Basically, I don't understand where the whole thing from Mox as regards Bully Ray came from. I don't think Mox has done anything particularly offensive. I mean, again, I know his style is not everyone's cup of tea because a lot of people call it garbage wrestling. Completely disagree. I think Mox is Knox is an absolutely world class wrestler. He's a very, very good technical wrestler as well. Tells a story. He's believable. Maybe sometimes that was my impression of Mark Spallon. It was terrible. Maybe sometimes maybe that goes a bit too far sometimes, but I think Mox is one of the best characters. Like I said, I would like him to leave the Death Raiders and go back to being John Moxley, ideally. Sorry, I've just knocked my camera with my pillow. Don't ask what. So yeah, unless Bully Ray's just trying to make himself relevant again, it's like, mate, you don't need to make yourself relevant. You're one of the not one of the biggest, obviously, but you're very well known in wrestling circles around the world. You don't need to make yourself relevant. Next football match is in half an hour. Ooh. Do I watch Alexander Isak or do I watch Gakpo, Van Dijk, and Gravenberg? Tell you what, I'm going to turn the TV off and I'm going to have a think about it. I think the match just comes on in about 40 minutes. So yeah, Boris, I think it was totally out of order what Bully Ray did. Look, there's nothing wrong with the bloke having an opinion, but I mean, trying to set up some sort of shoot fight is just, and I'm not being funny. Like Bully Ray, I would guess is probably in his mid-50s. John Moxley is 38. I mean, I'm not putting much money on Bubba Ray Bubba Ray Dudley kicking John Moxley's arse. I think Mox would hand his arse to Bully Ray. By the way, folks, less water than I was on yesterday, but I hit my record with how hot it's been. I had 16 pints of water, not beer, water yesterday. I have never my belly. I mean, I'm a big fat man as it is. My belly was literally out here. I look like that. I look like Mr. Creosote. There you go. There's an old school reference. If you know who Mr. Creosote is, put it in the comments. But yeah, like my belly was full, but I was just like, I need to keep drinking. Honestly, I've never been so hot yesterday. Like, the last 2 days, literally, I haven't even been up to bed. Last night, I gave up. That fan in the background. It's on medium at the minute. I literally had that on me the entire night. Boxes, which you guys don't need to know about. And yeah, my son found me down here this morning, literally just rolling around on the couch. He's just like, Dad, what are you doing here? And I was just like, mate, I ain't sleeping. He's upstairs. I was like, all right, fair enough. Anyway, doesn't want to. Let's have a look. I support Man City. Oh, I'll forgive you all that. No, I'm only joking. No, that's fine. That's fine. I think on my channel there's a lot of Liverpool fans who follow me, but we've got all sorts. As an Arsenal fan. There's a couple of lads I know who are Leeds fans, Man United fans. I have Celtic, Rangers, Hibernian, and Hearts, who are all on at the same time once. That was an interesting day at the office, correct? Arsenal fans, obviously. I think there's a Chelsea fan or two who follow me as well. So yeah, all is welcome. All is welcome. That's good. Florian Wirtz recorded an assist for Germany. That's just come up on my phone. Well done, Florian. That's great. If you wouldn't mind providing one or two more assists for your employers next year, that would be very much appreciated. Let's have a look, Boris. Someone tweeted Barnett and said, "What's it got to do with you?" Barnett replied, "Oh, are we upsetting spaghetti?" That's well, I mean, Boris, to be honest, like I've seen Josh Barnett. If I was to meet Mr. Barnett in real life, I don't think I would be going up to him because, like I said, I'm more of a lover than a fighter. I can handle myself if necessary, but I try to avoid that world now. And insulting Josh Barnett would not be at the top of my card for the evening, to be honest, because he's big, very good. Did you watch England World Cup 4-2? I was in the Croatia match, Arlo. Yeah, no, I saw it the other day, mate. Well, to be like I said, Arlo, it was very difficult for me the other day because, like I said, I'll just put myself back again. I am half Ghanaian, basically, and half it. Well, I'm more or less totally English, obviously. But dad was Ghanaian, and my mum's from. Technically, actually, I should be supporting Wales because my mum was born in Wales, but then she moved to England when she was a month old. So I don't even know anymore. To be honest, I mean, I don't know sporting. I chose to support Ghana, basically. And again, like I said, folks, it's because of the it's the connection I've got to so I think pretty much everyone on the channel has understood that. By the way, can I shout out the boys that I went out with the other day? As I thought, two Joshes, they know who they are, ripped the piss out of me the other night, but at the end, they both came over, right for me and said, "Well done, lad." They obviously they're both English, and they were just like, "Look," um, and I said sorry to them. And I was just like, "Oh, I'm sorry, lads, that you didn't get a win." They were like, "We didn't deserve the win. Ghana played well. They deserved to get a point in last night." So that meant well to me as well. So cheers, lads, for that. Yes, thank you for all the piss taking as well. Anyway, by the way, Ghana will be playing, providing we don't lose, I think 9-0 on Saturday against Croatia. I think we are pretty much confirmed unless we lose something ridiculous like about 8 or 9 points. There's quite a few teams going from 3 points. I think Scotland are just about holding on to the other place as well. So, yeah, I think Ghana's choice, the irony, is either Argentina, Ronaldo's Portugal, or Luis Diaz's Colombia. So basically, I can have my national team knocked out by Alexis McAllister, Diogo Jota's football team. Rest in peace, Diogo, by the way. And or Luis Diaz. So yeah. Sorry if I sound literally like desperate for let's have a look. Oh, that's cool. I play basketball and tennis and cricket as well. Does it? Oh, Arlo, you're very fit then in that case. I play walking, basically. That's about the extent of my physical exercise. Well, I do go to the gym once a week, and so I'm going to be walking lots and lots and lots over the next couple of months, which I will tell you about a little bit later. But I have had pretty much a bit of news confirmed today in terms of dates and stuff. So yes, I will get to that later as well. Most of you will know what I'm talking. Yeah, he was a legend. Oh yeah, thank you, Arlo. Yeah, no, it's. I was going to say, folks, as well. Obviously, I know I said this on a previous live stream, but next week, next Friday is the anniversary of Andre Silva and Diogo Jota's passing. Like I said before, I'm not going to go on about this again because I've told you before. If there are any Liverpool fans, Portugal fans, Porto fans, Wolves fans, anyone who love Diogo, who are going to struggle next week, I'm going to keep this channel open, obviously, day. You can post any pictures that you want. Can you post pictures of my things? Any comments on any of my videos or what? And this isn't like so I can get more views. Excuse me. Diogo meant the world to me. So if you want to watch not my content or anything, or if you just want to talk about Diogo, I'm probably going to go live at some point next Friday. I can't promise because I don't know how I'm going to react, guys. To be honest, because like I said, when I went through my mental health crisis, I've told you all about this before, but it really set me back. It was a horrendous few weeks. I'm actually thinking, if money wise, I can to maybe go to Liverpool next Friday, but I don't know if that's going to upset me. Basically, folks, I don't know what I'm going to be doing next week, but if anyone needs support, basically just get in touch. Yeah, go from there. When are you next live? That's a very interesting question, actually. When am I live next? Well, I'm doing the because you might have guessed, Arlo, I'm a bit of a jack of all trades. The next time I'm scheduled live is the Liverpool Friday show, where basically I talk about Liverpool at about 6 o'clock. The idea behind that, Arlo and everyone else, is because I'm enjoying the World Cup. Actually, it's not been as quite as bad as I thought. I still have issues with one of the countries it's been held in. I'm not going to get into that. But yeah, other than that, I do not like international football, and I can already start feeling like I really wish the Premier League was back. Not so much at the minute because I'm really busy with other stuff, but so basically, long story short, I thought to myself, well, if there's not going to be lots of Liverpool content, I will just make some Liverpool content, and I will want to talk about Liverpool basically. So yeah, I'm going to be on Arlo tomorrow at. That is a very good question, actually, because in fact, friends, I'll read you my date tomorrow. Let's have a look. This is in one day, by the way, because I've ended up like triple booking myself for a load of shit tomorrow. Basically, it's payday. It's my last payday at work, which I will go through. So tomorrow, I'm going somewhere in Leeds called Crown Point. I'm going to Home Bargains, George and Smith's toy store. I don't know why it's there this, but I'm just going to tell you anyway. Then I'm going to bring all that shit home where I'm going to pay off my credit card. Then I'm going to go back into town to hopefully get a Mackey's breakfast. Then I'm going to go somewhere called Horsforth. But before I go to Horsforth, I'm going to go to DC to drop off my broken laptop. Then I'm going to Horsforth as part of one of my charity shop runs because I'm going to be going into the eBay business. That is not a paid promotion, by the way. I'm just telling you about my personal one. So I'm going to be wandering around Horsforth for about half an hour. On the way back from Horsforth, I'm going to be meeting one of my mates in Headingley, who I've accidentally arranged to meet tomorrow, as you do. Then I'm going to be getting some more shit on the way back home from town. Then I'm going to be delivering that back to my house, spending an hour with my lad, seeing the missus, check they haven't wrecked the house or anything along those lines, before heading back into town for the third time, where I have also agreed to meet a few of the lads to watch Norway for some stupid reason, and then I'm coming home with the last of the shopping and possibly a little bit drunk at about 1 o'clock in the morning. Like I said first, I used to pride myself on being able to plan things out. I have now turned into there's people in your life where you're just like, how does that person survive because they're totally disorganized? I'm that person now, and I always hated those people because I just how can you survive? And that basically is me all the time now. And working from home is very unlikely to improve that, I would have thought. But yes, there we go. Right, so I will tell you more about that later. So I did receive a little bit of news about that today in terms of timelines and stuff. So yeah, Arlo, that's my roundabout way of saying that is a very good question, Arlo. That is a very, very good question. I think possibly about 6:30, 7 tomorrow. Six, seven. God, I wish my son had never told me about that. Anyway, I think I'm going to be on Arlo probably about 6, 6:30 tomorrow night. I'm also going to try and do a live stream whilst I'm in Portsmouth looking for charity shop toys. Yeah, I'm not sure how all that's going to work, to be honest, but yeah, no, I'll be on Arlo at some point tomorrow, either way, basically. Let's have a look. So Boris, Ring of Honor Media Corp first asked Tony, would you be interested in buying TNA today? Oh, TK said there's value there with the tape library. Depends on the price. First and 40 million. Tony can't absolutely not. No. Can't pull TNA. Well, I'm going to get onto the horror. Yeah, I mean the TNA situation is just. I have notes, Boris. Literally, I've made about 7 pages of notes here, by the way. The TNA situation, I don't know how they've gone from. I wouldn't say the hottest company in the world, but they had a stretch where, especially with the Joe Hendry thing, obviously, maybe up until about a year ago. I don't know. You had Ken Hansen coming back. You had AJ Styles flitting in and out. Obviously Leon Slater. Joe Hendry was still hot. Then you had Trick Williams bouncing in and out of NXT and TNA, and it was like, you know what I mean? And Mustafa Ali, who I really rate as a pro wrestler as well. and it looked like it was getting back to the old school TNA that I used to watch. And this is the reason, Boris, why I've been reluctant to start watching TNA again, because they have history of doing this. I remember when TNA was absolutely on fire in about 2008, 2009, and they'd done really well for themselves. Niche markets, so obviously you had Stinger, you had the main event Mafia, Jeff, the Amazing Red, Velvet Sky, and Angelina Love. That's the one, the beautiful people. Um, loads of other top drum. AJ, Samoa Joe, Bobby Roode, not the most Beer Money. That was it, Beer Money. Absolutely top draw people. And then Dixie Carter, in the words of Avengers, there was an idea, and it was a terrible idea because they brought Hulkster and Eric Bischoff in, and about 2 years later they were bankrupt, depending on who you speak to. And it was a complete disaster. TNA basically sunk away. They didn't have a national syndication deal or anything like that. I just had a kid with my missus. I decided I think it was one of these. When you have a kid, well, I'm sure you know, Boris. Obviously, like when you have a kid, you have to be very selective about what you watch because there are not enough hours in the day to watch TV anymore. So TNA basically got sacked off. WWE got sacked off a while ago, and then obviously TNA built themselves back up, and now they've started pulling this shit with not having when Carlos Silva was pulling people out of the WrestleMania independent shows because there are AEW people there, and it's like, well, what is that all about? Like you used to do business with AEW. Omega went on a talent exchange. Tony Khan's been on TNA for FC. It's just like, what is that all about? And yeah, I know they've got the WWE link, but it's just like, guys, look, we're not 4 years old. This is not the 1980s. We know about these other companies now. We have done for years. So yeah, um, it's a shame, but it's just one of these. I've seen TNA do this 2 or 3 times, Boris, and I'd say it surprised me maybe. It just doesn't. It's just I think a lot of it went to shit when that lad, I forgot what his name, the one that ended up leaving so we could set up a Canadian wrestling league. His name was, oh my god, I've completely, you'll know the person I'm on about, but he went on to set up a Canadian promotion, I believe. I think they've got a deal in Canada, if I'm not much mistaken. Anyway, so he left or got fired or whatever, depending on who you speak to. And it seems to be in around that time since this silver bloke's taken over, the whole thing's gone to shit again. But I don't know. Like I say, it doesn't surprise me at all, Boris. Quite honestly. Let's have a look. I'm going to Spain next Friday. Oh, very nice, Arlo. Very, very nice. I'm because of employment reasons, Arlo. Me and the family have just decided all 4 year-olds we will be going to London for probably 400 quid between 3 of us for 3 days, and that will be our summer holiday as per usual. But the good thing is, my son loves London. Randomly, when you've got a kid, there are a boatload of things that are free in London, which is very useful when you're on a shoestring budget. London also has a lot of charity shops as well, so it's kind of which my Mrs. Methodologist politely said to me, "You can't spend all the time in charity shops. You've got to spend time with family." It's like, how much time? No, but yeah, no, it does present me with an opportunity, and then as you guys know, I guess football stadiums and flocks and stuff. So it kind of works out. I mean, we were thinking about going abroad, but obviously with this thing that I'm going to be doing, um, going abroad this year is not. Scott Demore, thank you, Boris. Yes, that's the one. It seemed to me, I don't know because I don't know if it's thing that it was being run reasonably well when he was in charge. Maybe it wasn't. I don't. I haven't watched enough TNA. Yeah, it's a shame, but I mean, yeah, I mean when you have companies being run over a 15-year period by, I respect Jeff Jarrett a lot, but when you have the likes Jarrett, who not got a very good track record. Dixie Carter, Hulk Hogan, Eric Bischoff, and now there's Carlos Silva. With the greatest respect, that sort of shit will happen, basically. Will that be a vlog? I wasn't thinking that yet, but do you know what? That might be an idea actually. Well, I hope you've been enjoying the charity shop ones. Yeah. Anyway, like I said, I'm going to another area. There'll definitely be a charity shop vlog. Because I'm going to a place called Horsforth in Leeds tomorrow. So it's one of the nicer areas. West Leeds. I was going to go to 2 or 3 stops, but like I just do not have the time. I think a lot of the charity shop stuff, yeah, is going to be probably next week. So I think I've just done. If I hit Horsforth tomorrow, that's my 6th area that I've done. There were approximately 20, give or take. So yeah, it's going to take me a while. I'm hoping to get the vast majority of them done by the end of next week because there's quite a few charity shops that are in the same sort of area in Leeds, basically. So there's an area in Leeds called Roundhay, which people know Roundhay Park, because obviously Robbie Williams has performed there, Jackson, and blah 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 blah. So there's an area called Roundhay, which is near Chapel Allerton, which is also near Moortown. There's 3 charity shops there. So what I'm aiming to do is do like 3 or 4 in a day, and then basically I'm going to rate them all, put them in a schedule, and that's what I'm doing it basically. But in terms of finding stuff at the minute, I mean, I hit the mother load at Leeds Comic Con the other day because, bless him, there was a gentleman selling wrestling figures, and I couldn't believe my eyes. Like some of these figures he had, he's selling for like £3, and like my eyes went like clockwork orange, like that. I was just like, "Are these all £3?" And he was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." It was like, "Is the AJ Styles limited edition Bullet Club figure when he was in Japan that has been authorised by WWE? Is that £3?" Yeah, 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 that's fine, mate. Oh, do you want it for £2 actually? Because I'm nearly packing up. Okay. So I hit the mother load with that one. But in terms of like the charities, so far I've bought one Liverpool book for about 50p. And does anyone know what Imaginext figures are? If you don't know, they're like little toy figures that kids play with, basically. Posable, all that. So yes, that's the plan for next week. So I'm going to try and get most of this done because the next week, I think it's go time. So not this week, but like the week after, everything's going to go boom, basically. So join next week because the week after that's going to be pretty wild. Anyway, let me just move my big flappy butt. Oh, I missed the football then. How long have we got? Another 19 minutes. Excuse me, folks. Sorry. Let's have a look. Because I'm going to watch it. All right. Okay. Oh, sorry, Arlo. So I mean, yeah, yeah, nice. Well, yes, enjoy the football. Scott Demore, what is your favourite country you want to go to? Ooh, that's interesting, Arlo. Favourite country I would want to go to? Do you know, this is a bit random, Arlo, but because I'm a massive geek, as the name implies, um, I would like to go to Japan. Japan scares me because I am not a good flyer. I have not been on a plane for about 14 years. I'll be completely honest. Last time me and the missus went somewhere was Barcelona. I think we went in 2011. So that'll be, yeah, 15 years, yeah. I had a very bad experience flying back home from Stockholm 20 years ago. Plane crashed. Yeah, that was pretty scary. Pretty scary. It's kind of freaked me out. But when I went with my missus, I was trying to impress her and everything because obviously we don't just started going out at that point. She was just like, "Are you going to be all right with the plane?" I'm like, "Yeah, oh yeah, of course, dear." But yeah, that's why I got convicted of this before. I mean, how on earth me wife both got through customs. And she wasn't a good flyer either, which she announced halfway during the bloody flight. So we sat there, and like one of us pulls out a bottle of Jack Daniels that we were going to save for the hotel or something like that we bought for what do you call it, duty free. And yeah, I mean, most of it went on that flight pretty much. And yes, it wasn't a clever side, to be honest. But yeah, to answer your question, I think, to be honest, I think probably Japan. The reason why Japan as well, Arlo, is because I really want to go and see New Japan Pro Wrestling. I also want to go to the anime shops in Tokyo. I've always wanted to do that. I want to go and see these big figures that they've got where they do actual 100-foot statues. So there's a 100-foot statue of Ultraman, which is a massive manga in Japan, and it crosses over here as well. There's another one of the 1970s Spider-Man, because 1970s Spidey in Japan had a giant robot. True story, by the way. I used to watch that show in the 80s, and on one episode there was a giant robot like you would have in not Power Rangers. What was it? Oh, what was the thing that my brother used to watch? Something Zilla. What was it? Not Godzilla. Dragon Ball? No, not Dragon Ball. I forget. It was the one with the dinosaur that shot things out of his chest. Anyway, the point is, there's a lot of anime stuff over there, and also I believe they have something called Nintendo World. Um, because, funnily enough, Matt Cardona, who is a wrestler, if you don't know, who used to be Zack Ryder, who, well, depending on Dan Anderson, might actually still be Zack Ryder. He did a vlog a while ago where I think he was the one who went to Nintendo World, and me and my son were like, coolest thing in the world. So yeah, I would love to go to Japan, Arlo. I'd love to go back to America. How do I put this? When it's more manageable. Trying to be polite. I'd like to go back to Italy. I went to one of the favourite best holidays I ever went to was with my ex. We went to Milan, or Milan, as the Americans would say. And honestly, Milan, what a boss city that was! Absolutely freaking awesome. A bit Las Lunatica with those bikes that like go around like a million miles an hour in these really small streets. Yeah, pleased to know that I really want to go to Germany as well. Um, and I've told this before, but I really want to go to the area that St. Pauli are in, just because I find that football club absolutely fascinating, like the whole DIY culture and stuff. While I'm in Germany, I really, really want to go to a Brexit. I want to go to I want to be in the Yellow Wall. That's one of my Germany ambitions. Really, really want to go there as well. And I believe as well Germany has a pretty decent comic book geeky set of stores itself as well. So, I'd also like to go and see some German wrestling as well. A surprise, because obviously they used to have. I'm guessing the stuff wrestling over there. There's obviously so many German wrestlers that gone over to the States and done really well. So I would like to go to Germany as well. To see St. Pauli, basically. This is how weird I am. Not Berlin, not Munich. My first stop in Germany is going to be St. Pauli. Because, yeah. Let's have a look. I ran out of questions. Oh, it's fine, Arlo. Don't worry about it, mate. By the way, folks, if you listen to the podcast, I am going to get onto the the preview in a minute. I do apologise. Let's have a look. Would I be concerned about the food in Japan? Did you see Idiots Abroad? Yeah, see, Boris, that's one of my problems. I'm not seafood. What is it called? Sushi. There's a lot of my mates like sushi and stuff. I tried it, but it's not me being rude to the Japanese people. I don't want it to come across. I mean, I am, as an example, Boris. say I'm half Ghanaian. I don't like. I know this sounds really awful because it's been very disrespectful to my own country and my dad. My dad, God bless him, tried to cut me plantain, yams. There's a massive Ghanaian dish called fufu, which is just like a sort of softy bread thing that you dip in a bit, not tomato sauce, but like tomato-based sauce. And there's another one called kenke, which was it was like a fried fish that's and every single time I just said to Dad, whilst we were in Ghana once as well, no less, when I was about 11 years old, saying, "This sucks, I don't like it." And there was this hush over the table. And I was just like, oh, my dad's going to get into it. Basically, to be honest, Boris, what I'm getting at is I am very English with food. And I know it's really, really bad. Like, I try that. Like, I'm very interested in cultures and going to different places, as you know. Food, I badly let myself down. The only time I really embraced food abroad was probably Italy. Like the pizza I had. Me and the ex had been there because obviously English people were used to having our dinner between 5 and 8 or something like that. But we're wandering around Milan and like literally I thought they were joking about the Italians. Like we were going into restaurants at 10 o'clock and we were really hungry by that point. We were like, is there any chance we could come in for dinner, please? It's like, dinner at this time of night? But it is only early. And it's like, dude, it's 10 o'clock at night. But obviously, they have kind of like Spanish, some areas of Italy have their not siestas, but they'll break up the day kind of thing. And then they'll all go to, not all, but they'll go to restaurants or their own homes. And then children running about at like 1:30 in the morning. They'll all be sat there, not getting tanked on it, but like, I remember we went to this. I don't know where it was in Milan, but it was like this sort of canal area. Absolutely beautiful place. And by this point, me and the missus are ravenous. We've waited as long as we can do. So we go to this restaurant. And I go on there. It's a bit early. I mean, it's 20 to 12 at night by this point, and I'm just like, early. What is going on? Anyway, long story short, we, I'll be saying this because I'm still. We managed to order the wrong pizza. Ordering meat feast, and the most disappointing when two mushroom pizzas came along. We were oh my god, but we were so hungry. So I said to my ex at the time, should we reorder? And she was just halfway through the pizza. It's like, couldn't give it to us. Let's see. Is honestly, we nearly ordered a second and a third. It was the best food I've ever tasted in my entire life. Some of the food in Milan was just absolutely top drawer. Absolutely beautiful. But everywhere else I've been, obviously it goes without saying I love the food in America because it's the same shit that we have in England, only like much bigger, obviously. Um, Sweden was okay. I went to Stockholm. Tried. I can't remember what I had in Sweden actually. It was like quite a bit of stuff with like meatballs and gravy or something like that. That was nice. Prague. I'm literally trying to form an idea of head where I've been. Prague was okay, but again, that was we went to very Englishy places. Basically, we went to the last two. Go to McDonald's and this, that, and the other, and blah blah blah. Poland had really good food. I went to somewhere called Krakow. So it's where they have the memorial for the oh god, how disrespectful. Where they have the Auschwitz memorial. I remember when we went there. That was very sobering. One of the best slash worst experiences I've ever had in my entire life. I would recommend anyone to go there, but take some hankies. It was very disturbing. But I'm still. But anyway, the food in Poland was absolutely class. Um, completely lost track of thought. Why am I talking about food for? That's a stupid question. Oh yeah, no, Boris. Yeah. So yeah, I do worry, Boris, because obviously you can get the same shit in Japan that you've got over here. Because obviously they've got Mackey's and BK's and KFC and Christ knows what else. But I'd want to try and be respectful, and at least try some food in Japan. The other issue I've got is, Boris, you know, when they a lot of the Japanese people out of respect will, you know, eat food sort of kneeling down, and they'll have the dish in front of them, this, that, and the other. My knees are haggard. Basically, that I've always had this image of me like trying desperately to handle, not wobbling about, and then falling into some fella's bloody sushi dish or something like that. Because I guarantee you, it's the sort of shit that I would end up doing, basically. But yeah, no, I do have the same thing, Boris, because I don't want to go over there and be disrespectful and not eat food. But yeah, anyway, moving swiftly. Would you old cartoons? The animals of Farthing Wood. The animals of Farthing Wood, Boris. Bloody hell! Right, I'll throw this out there the rest of the night. When it stays on, I see that and I raise you the mysterious cities of gold. And here's a deep cut one. Does anyone remember Visionaries? If you do, you definitely get a gold star. Let's have a look. Have you been to Legoland? I have been with Florida. Oh, nice one, Arla. No, to be honest, I haven't been, Arla. However, Arla, what I'll do, if you just bear me a second, I'm glad you like your Lego because this is our living room. I say it's our living room. Basically, this is the Mrs. and the son's living room. I basically get a Ghana flag, and I was looking to get that. But these are all Lego creations. I'll try and focus in. That's the Lego Game Boy the Mrs. bought the other day. That's a Wally that we've got. All this in plastic boxes, basically. That's all my sons and my missus' bits and pieces. They will literally sit there and create this thing. They've got Ninjago, they've got Yoda, a baby Yoda. That's all the bits and pieces that they've got for the Lego. So like the stunts or whatever they're called, and this, that, and the other. That's Tower 1, Tower 2, Tower 3, Tower 4, Tower 5. That's the bits and pieces tower. I think that's what is that? Is that Ninjago stuff? Oh no, it's not Ninjago. It's like their what do you call it? Custom Lego. And over here are the big Lego towers. Over here, don't tell the wife. Obviously, this is the Lego city that the missus has been working on for a couple of years. And there's loads more shit that we've got in this room, basically. Sorry, I know the my charming visage is not as good as a Lego city, but yes, Arlo, we do have two Lego collectors in the family. I don't mind Lego. I'm not a. I did enjoy making Lego Liverpool players the other day that my son managed to destroy. I made a Dominic Soboslai. I think he's where is he put my Liverpool Lego? I don't know. I'll ask him tomorrow. I made a Dominic Soboslai. I made a Fede Chiesa. I made an Arna Slot, which probably got him fired. And I made an Alison Becker as well. I think of Ryan Gravenberg possibly. Oh, speaking of Ryan Gravenberg, that was lucky. Football back on. Football back on. Let me have a look. Blah 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 blah. Sorry guys, I am going to get to the wrestling review shortly. What match? What match do we watch? Yeah, I know this is quite disrespectful to Virgin and the lads. I think I'm going to watch Sweden versus Japan. Just because do you know what? I really enjoy watching Japan at the minute. I think they're absolutely boss. I think they could not win by any stretch of the imagination. I think they potentially, maybe in 7 or 8 years, could be at a stage where they could win a World Cup. Potentially, hopefully, the mistakes anyway. Let's have a look. Oh, he might have been to Legoland Windsor. Well, funnily enough, Boris, that's the missus went to Legoland Windsor with my son, and I was for my missus's. I won't say what number birthday was. It was a significant one. We'll just leave it at that. And initially, I thought what the birthday present I was going to get was I was just going to get 2 days like around Windsor. And then at the time, she was getting promoted to a new job, and I was trying to like discreetly get out of her. So, do you know anything about holidays? And she's like, "Why are you asking me that, love? For I've just got a new job. I can't give you holidays, can I?" And I'm just like, long story short, I asked and asked and asked. It got to the point where I was like, "Do you know what? F this." And I just gave her 100 quid Lego vouchers and said, "There you go. There's your 30 plus." The missus is not one for surprises, so she was very, very grateful and everything. But I was just like, this could go horribly wrong. Like if I'd spent 300 or 400 quid on like 2 days of Lego in Legoland, then the wife had turned around and said, "Oh yeah, by the way, I can't go. I would have been mortified." So, oh, here we go, Alexander Isak, and anyway, let's have a look. So I've not personally been Arlo, no, but do you know what Arlo? Actually, one place I would like to go. Actually, you're always on about travelling. I would love to go to Denmark. I'd absolutely love to go to Denmark, and I know I'm not that bothered about Lego, but I'd love to go and see the initial places where they did the Lego in Denmark and Copenhagen. Um, because I'd like to go to Denmark in general because, like, I'd like to go to the football grounds as well. Mrs. was when I was explaining to the Mrs. She literally went. They've got Copenhagen, and I think is there another one just outside of Liverpool used to play about 30 odd years ago as well. But yeah, no, Denmark's definitely somewhere I'm interested in as well. Let's have a look. This. What team are you? Oh, hello N9W. How are you doing? You're all right. Hey, what team is he? Liverpool. KK. I am Liverpool. Yes, yes. I'm using the Liverpool thing, but I've got my Star Wars cup this evening. There you go. First order. Is anyone else really hungry, by the way? Like, literally, I did. Literally, this World Cup, like I said, I've managed to get through this time without getting any alcohol. Brilliant. Well done, mate. Pat on the back. I'm absolutely desperate for a takeaway. Honestly, this World Cup has completely and utterly ruined any routine or any self discipline I have with like either alcohol or food. Which weirdly though I've actually lost weight, by the way, in the last week. I think I've lost about 7 or 8 pounds. So I went on the scales the other day and I was like, how have I lost weight? Anyway, hey Finn, how you going, mate? You all right? How you going, Finn? Peter, I would press the nuclear button for a chip bot. Oh, Peter, no, please don't say that. I'm literally because I've got a Just Eat app, and I've unfortunately worked out that I can actually order while I'm doing this, and I'm desperately trying to convince myself not to go on the Just Eat app now and order a takeaway. I am so hungry, Peter. Literally, so hungry. I don't know if it's the heat or something. I don't know. Because I mean, I had dinner with my family earlier. I mean, it was not a huge meal, but it wasn't like it wasn't massive, but it wasn't small either. And literally, I think I could beat everyone in that stadium at the minute for let's have a look. Finn, do you know what the anniversary of today is? I do know, Finn. It's the 6 year anniversary of Liverpool Football Club winning the title in 2019/20. Unless there is another anniversary that I'm not aware of. Also, it was one of our players' birthdays today. I forget for the life of me who it is. I know Darwin's birthday was that yesterday? The gaffer's birthday, Andoni's was what was it 2 days ago? I think something along those lines. I'm assuming that's the one that you're on about, Finn. Yeah. By the way, very quick story, folks, and I will get onto the rest of it. That was insane when Liverpool won the first league because obviously it goes back saying I prefer the league that we won a year ago because I was able to go out with the boys, I celebrated with my brother. We got a hotel in our own city, which we had KFC delivered to a hotel in our own city, and I think one of us had, and I didn't know you could do this on Just Eat. It's quite worrying actually, and I need to try and forget it. I think my brother ordered like a bottle of Bacardi, party, and some fella had to bring it up to our hotel room, and I'm just like, this is brilliant. Didn't feel too good the next day, but yeah, no, it was awesome. But the first time Liverpool won the league since I've been supporting, like it was just surreal because I was just sat there watching it with my missus, and obviously Chelsea. Sorry, if I'm not looking, I'm just watching the footy. Chelsea beat Man City for us to win the league. And it was so weird because I'm sat there watching another football team. The referee just goes, "Yeah, that's full time," and I just stood there frozen, and like the missus could have knocked me over with a feather, and I just sat there for about no cheering, nothing. But it's just I just couldn't believe I'd done it after all these years, and then I was expecting like at the time like pint glasses to be going all over the place. Me and the lads doing the congas, shirts being ripped off and going over the head, and what do I get instead because of COVID? And Mrs. comes along and says, "Here's a nice cup of chamomile tea, love. That'll calm you down. Right, I'm off to bed now. Make sure you turn all lights off before you go to bed." And that was my congratulations because obviously we couldn't go anywhere at the time. I'm sat there with this cup of chamomile tea, and I will swear because I had booze in the house and we had 2 bottles of wine. I shouldn't say this, but the place that I'm about to leave. Oh, Holland have just scored. Is it Gackers by any chance? Let's have a look. Oh, is it what's his face again for Sunderland? Brian Bobby. Or was that an own goal? Was that an own goal? Actually, I don't know. Yeah. Sorry, that's completely. Oh yeah, no, the Liverpool story. So yeah. Oh, lucky. That's lucky. By the way, folks, this impromptu watch along is Japan versus Sweden. By the way. Yeah, no, the Liverpool thing was just. So anyway, the Mrs. brings along a cup of chamomile tea, and I was meant to be going to work the next day. I thought to myself, well, get absolutely wasted on Friday, go straight out. I mean, obviously we weren't allowed out, but I thought to myself, well, I'll go for the off license, get myself nearly get myself a bottle of wine and have a celebration. And halfway through, I was just like, do you know what? Fuck this. It's like you just won the title for fuck's sake. So I was just like, no, I'm going to have these 2 bottles of wine. And I'm going to celebrate. That next day was interesting. How I didn't get fired, I do not know. Literally, I couldn't tell you what I did that day at work. Literally, because I was so happy, went in absolutely buzzing. And for those of you who have may have drunk a bit too much and then gone to work, I'm sure we've all done this and been in the same boat. You know that moment it gets to half 2 and you think, oh, this is all right, being all right. And someone puts a lever on, all of a sudden you go, ooh, and you're like, oh my god. That happened at 2:30, and you know that bit where you suddenly realise, oh my god, I need to stay here for another 2 hours. Yeah, it was still a great time, but yeah. Anyway, didn't want to tell you about that. Let's have a look. Arlo, Legoland is really cool. You should go. I would very much like to, Arlo. I would very, very much like to. Like I said, to be honest, Arlo, I'd like to go to the one. I mean, obviously, I know it's in my own country, but I'd like to go to the one in Denmark, to be honest, just because that's where the birthplace of Lego was. Because, like I said, I'm a bit of a geek for that sort of thing. And just in general, I'd like to go to Denmark. So really Scandinavia. I mean, I loved Sweden. Apart from the fact I did feel like the ugliest bloke in the world, which I am. This is fine, but like, but literally, you go over Sweden. You go to Sweden because everyone is blonde, and it's not a thing being stereotypical. I have never seen so many blonde, healthy-looking, slim, athletic, toned people. Oh, 2-0 to Holland. Who's this then? Is that bloke again? It's him again. Maybe Liverpool should sign him. I'll wait for the comments. But yeah, no, literally, I've never felt so self-conscious in all my life. I mean, all these beautiful men and women just wandering about, and then there's just me walking down the high street, and I was just like, I'm not one that gets self-conscious. Oh, I don't this that anyway. Probably the one time in my life when I was just like, I do feel quite self-conscious here. Look how beautiful. By the way, that was the plane ride home when I nearly died as well. So Yeah, go to Stockholm. Anyway, let's have a look. No, you've got me with Mysterious Cities of Gold. Oh, nice one, Boris. Nice one. Right, Mysterious Cities of Gold. I will go with next. Seems we're making this a thing. I'll give you an easy one. Thundercats. I expect most of the people in the chat, even if you're quite young, must have at least heard of Thundercats. By the way, did you know there's a Thundercats movie happening? By the way, did you know it's not going to be live? It's going to be animated. I was gutted. Let's have a look. Have you been to Disneyland? I most certainly have not been to Disneyland, Arlo. Most certainly have not, sadly. I'd love to. I'd tell you one place I'd like to go to, Arlo, is San Diego, because a lot of people who subscribe know that I cover that as well. By the way, I'll be doing it in a month's time, folks. So I will literally, if you are interested in San Diego, I will literally have IGN on TV. I'll be flicking around YouTube, looking to see if there's any new toys, WWE stuff, press conferences for new movies, blah 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 blah. Which is not usually what I do, but I love San Diego Comic Con. That's somewhere that I would like to go before I leave this mortal coil. Again, how do I put this? I was not prepared to go to San Diego Comic Con until the conditions are more favourable. Make of that comment what you will. Yes, let's go. Peter, I'm a big Red Dwarf fan. Oh, I remember watching Red Dwarf. But yeah, I was going to say, I watched. I didn't watch it all the time, Peter, but I watched because I grew up in Derby, and I think, am I right in saying it started in? I've probably got the wrong year, haven't I? Did Red Dwarf start in 92? 92 or 93? I've probably got that wrong, haven't I? Oh, Scotland top 8. Right, Scotland are just holding on by the fingertip. Which must mean that Ghana are going to qualify, because those were all. That literally, the thingy point was like 4. I'm trying to think how many we could sit. Yeah, because we've got +1, but looks like Ghana are definitely going then. Brilliant, nice. Sorry about this cough, folks. We're getting by the most bloody hay fever. Right, pain in the ass. Anyway, Peter, I'm a big Red Dwarf fan. I remember Ghouls and Ghosts arcade games, but I never got into the Lego and stuff. Well, this is a stupid thing, Peter. I used to be a massive Lego player when I was a kid, and most of the other stuff I kept in contact with, like with Marvel and Comic Cons and things like that, because I'm a massive geek. Same for the wrestling. Stuck with that all my life. Probably one of the one things that I didn't stick with was Lego. I don't really know why. Because I see how much my son and my missus love it, and I have tried to get involved, but mostly now because I mean, it's ADHD time as well. Because my missus and my son have both got ADHD, and their concentration on Lego, because obviously it really helps with patterns and stuff like that. Their focus, well, in spite of or because of ADHD, whatever you want to think of it, is so like they're so dialed in. Like literally, I could be sat in the living room on fire. Literally, both of them would be keep the noise down and go back to bloody building the Lego. But yeah, they absolutely love it, Pete. But yeah, I like it, but it's just not my. I mean, I like some of the movies. I love the Lego Batman movie because it's so sarcastic. It's one of the funniest things I've ever seen. But yeah, I think I've got the best of all cartoons. Ulysses. Oh, Boris, you're speaking my language, mate. Ulysses, yes, I remember. Um, Ulysses was. I grew up in Eastbourne before I went to Derby. We went to Eastbourne in '86. I think I'm right in saying Ulysses may have started in '87, possibly. Not too sure. I can't remember that. But yeah, Ulysses, mate, was brilliant. I think one day it was Ulysses, then the next day it was Mysterious Cities of Gold. And then you could turn over to ITV. I think they had Transformers. Friday was He Man, I think, and then your Saturday morning cartoons. I mean, literally, we were sports in the '80s. Saturday morning cartoons on BBC One was X-Men, as in the animated, and I think ITV had this one called Centurions. That's a really deep cut one, by the way. If anyone knows Centurions, give yourself a big gold star. I love Centurions. And then I think Visionaries was on a Tuesday. Honestly, like, we were spoiled in the 80s. I mean, obviously, I don't want to disrespect other people's childhoods and stuff, but like, the amount of iconic things we had in the 80s, and like, I watch what my son watches now, and a lot of it's on the internet and stuff, and I know it's a different era for him, but like, I don't know, I watch some of these things because my son loves YouTube shorts and stuff. He'll literally just flick over the TV like every 5 minutes, like you do with TikTok and stuff. Um, I don't know, I watch people do these really weird dares, like jumping off bouncy castles into quarries and I don't know, knives and weird shit like that, basically. And I'm just sat there going, well, why are you watching this for? But again, I'm looking at it through a guy from the 80s prison. My son's like 12 years old. It's just like, oh, Dad, you're so boring. But yeah, Ulysses, I'm going to go with as my next one in that. Yeah, I'll go for Centurions, actually. Centurions. Uh, have you seen the Lego Ferrari Arlo? I think Arlo. I'm just looking around. I think we've got one somewhere in the room, actually. Uh, no, it's Arlo. We've definitely got. I think the missus has a Ferrari. I think we've also got a like a some sort of yellow car. I don't know anything about cars or driving. Basically, I was the world's worst driver. I quit a few years ago. Like I'm very pleased that I've saved several lives in this country because had I driven, yeah, the mortality rate of England would have gone up significantly. Yes, terrible, terrible driver. But I don't know if it was possible. Does Lego do Lamborghinis? I'm sure it was a Lamborghini or something like that. They've definitely got because the car section I think's in the other room because there's Lego in the other room as well, Harlow as well. So there's just shit all over the place. Honestly, like you go to other people, you know, when you're an adult, you go to other people's houses and they've got like vases and like panel oak bloody carpets or like island kitchens, and they're sat there talking about Rembrandt and whatever it is adults talk about. And then you come to our house and you literally go upstairs to my room. There's like wrestling figures, there's Lego figures down here, and there's all sorts of shit. And I'm just like, I'm sat here talking about like WWE and like this, that, and the other. But you know, life's for living at the end of the day, and I'd rather talk about shit like this than trying to not be rude. I was going to say the opera, but I know people like the opera. But boring adult stuff, basically. I don't have any interest in boring adult stuff. I wish I did. I really wish I did because I did come across as not the most learned person in the world. Let's have a look. Hello. Have you seen like a Ferrari Pizza? Boris, I remember Ulysses in the 80s. Oh, Ulysses. Like I said, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I hated that bit in Ulysses where I can't remember if it was just a random episode, but I think Ulysses got captured by. I think he ended up in like this weird like I don't know space temple wherever it was, and I genuinely thought the character had been killed, and I went to my mom or mommy at the time. I was like, I don't like this. Sat there, and she would have been like 28 or 27 at the time. And it was like, son, it's an 80s cartoon. They haven't been killed. It's like, no, they killed him. God knows what episode it was, but yeah, Mysterious Cities have got Gold made me cry a fair few times as well. Um, what was another good one? Oh, well, there's the obvious Transformers: Robots in Disguise, the best 80s cartoon of all time. That's going to be controversial. Finn, I'm watching Tunisia versus Netherlands. Ah, okay, Finn, fair play, fair play. I'm watching the Japan Sweden one. I wish now, Finn, I'd actually watched Tunisia and Holland. This game was a massive pile of crap, by the way. I don't know if anyone else has watched Japan versus Sweden. It's like a chess game. Oh, 17 years ago today since Michael Jackson died. Oh, no, of course it's Finn. Yeah, no, I thought it was the Liverpool anniversary. Oh, how weird that that's on the same day. No, I didn't know that at all. Because I'm not a big football guy, but Stevie G was like, "I'm not leaving without the Champions League." What a performance! He was everywhere. Oh, yeah, one of the best days of my life, boys. Absolute best days of my life. Made even better by the fact I watched it with a very sarcastic Manchester United fan who was taking the piss out of me at half time. He wasn't an hour and a half later. Yeah. Watched it in Harrogate as well. By the way, if you ever come to Yorkshire, go to Harrogate. It's very, very nice. Let's have a look. Finn does the baby. That said, Michael is the best pop star ever. I would agree, mate. I would agree. Yeah, I watched, guys. Speaking of 80s stuff, my one contribution to Michael Jackson is I went to the premiere, not the premiere in London, obviously, but I went to the opening night at the Curzon Theatre in Eastbourne. I want to say it was 87. It might have been 87. It was either 87 or 86. I forget. I went to the premiere of Moonwalker, which at the time was my favourite film. When Michael turned into that spaceship, like literally. But yeah, I actually saw the premiere of Moonwalker, and I've seen Moonwalker since as an adult, and it is like weird as f. But like at the time, for a kid, I'm just like, he's got a friend called Spike, who's a bunny rabbit. He's got cartoons in. Michael Jackson turns into a spaceship, and he shot people in Moonwalker as well. And I was looking at my mom at the time, going, "Did Michael just shoot someone?" My mom sat there going, "What?" But yeah, but yes, no, I actually that's my claim to fame. I went to the premiere of Michael Jackson's film, I believe in '87 at the Curzon Theatre. It was a wonderful old theatre in Eastbourne. I really miss those cinemas now. Those were in the '80s, where you had an intermission. I mean, the young people now would just be like, "You are." You used to have a 10-minute intermission, so they'd close the film off, right? Have a break so the adults could go out for a fag, presumably, or a cigarette. And you'd have ushers coming along giving you food and stuff like that. And it was, yeah, it was old school cinemas. I loved them, absolutely loved them. Yes, sadly they do not exist. Well, you can still go to places like that. There's a really good one, Hyde Park Cinema, if you're ever in Leeds, that's kind of like that. I do miss them now, but I'm not a fan of. I know, again, I'm insulting the young people, but these divs who are sat on their phones in the effing cinema, why are you in the cinema for? But generally, I'll throw that out to the group. Um, Not to take the piss. If anyone's got a rational explanation, I'm more than happy to hear it, and I won't judge. But I don't understand, considering how much cinemas cost these days, right? There was I'll give you an example the other day. Sorry, I'm getting back onto the high horse now. Went to see, what did we go to see the other day? He-Man, right? So there's a fellow, these are adults, right? These aren't the kids. And a woman, three children, two daughters, one son. Not Trav. These are like um, leftovers from Guildford, basically. And they'll come in. I mean, they might as well have been at a country retreat talking. I mean, literally, I do mean the entire film. To the point where like an usher had to come in, and they looked so inconvenienced as well. But then you add it up. Three of the kids had, them giant popcorn things that you get, giant popcorn boxes, right? Three of the kids, the three kids had two of them between them, right? A hot dog. I think the Mrs. had a glass of wine or something like that. The father had a coffee. Anyway, long story short, if you had all the cinema costs together, I mean, three children, bloke, and I mean, you're talking that's 100 quid, 120 quid, maybe 100, and you've spent all that time talking. What is the point? I don't know if it's to go and deliberately wind people up in the cinema, but I would love one day, I am getting rich, to literally grab someone by the throat and say, "Listen, donkey breath, have some consideration for other people," and then just look them down the stairs. I mean, I wouldn't ever do that because the missus would tell me off, and then she'd probably want me down the stairs. Besides the point, I just find people like that to be enraging beyond words. I really do. But Arlo, going to sleep now. Be 5 minutes. All right, Arlo. Thanks very much for joining, mate. Sorry if I've missed you. Finn, I was born on 20th September 2009. Oh my God, Finn, don't do that. She's 2009. Oh my God. I was born on May the 16th, 1980. Oh my good God. And it's such a shame because I wasn't alive at the same time as Michael because of every obsession with Snapchat. I've got some lungs. Will always be fascinated, Michael. I really want to visit Neverland when I'm older. Well, yeah, I mean it's still going now, isn't it, Neverland? So yeah, yeah, no, it was a hell of a shock thing to be honest. Because another story thing, folks, I am definitely going to get onto WB. I promise. I absolutely promise those people to hear me saying something. Me and my mum Finn actually booked tickets to the This Is It concert. Um, yeah, it was called This Is It, wasn't it? And I was quite excited actually because that Japanese fella dressed as Adventure Time. Oh, that's brilliant! There was a lad in the Japanese end. He's dressed as the guy from Adventure Time. That's hilarious. Um, but yeah, we'd booked tickets and literally like my mum rang me up in floods of tears about 3 days later. And I was like, "What's happened?" She said like he's died. And I was like, "Oh, don't be ridiculous." But yeah, actually died. We were due to go and see him. It was yeah, it was such a shock, such a shock. Yeah, it was just one of those things. I was there live Saturday morning for Thundercats. I think. Yeah, it could have been Thundercats, Peter. Actually, yeah. Honestly, Peter, I can't remember the schedule. I just remember. I'm sure. I know for a fact X Men was definitely on Saturday morning cartoons. Definitely, definitely, because I always look forward to that, and I was gutted when it finished. And like the rest of it, my mum was like, "Oh, do you want to watch the rest of it?" So I was like, "No, the X Men have finished." I swear, Blind Transformers used to be in the midweek. Like I said, Peter, it's that long ago. I mean, like Peter, I couldn't tell you what happened yesterday, let alone what happened in 1987 or 86. But there we go. 1988 Red Dwarf. Oh, fair play, fair play. Yeah, nice one. I thought it might have been the 80s. I just couldn't quite remember. I still can't believe the fella to this day that was what's his name, Cat, that he got murdered in Blade 2. I remember watching Blade 2 at the time in Telford. There's always a cinema story. I watched it on my own in the UCI in Telford. And I'm sat there going, that's Cat from Red Dwarf. What the hell's he doing here? And he got eaten by loads of piranhas or whatever they were. Or zombie people. Piranha. I forgot what they were. True story. You should watch Blade 2, by the way. It's excellent. Mr. Meta, I'm interested in the history of people and things I love. I've already asked my mum this question, but do you remember Oh, yeah, well, that's what I was just speaking about, Finn, yeah. Yeah, no, I literally can remember me, where would I have been? I was in Hyde Park in Leeds at the time. That was it. Yeah, no, I was in Hyde Park Leeds at the time, and I want to say I was like doing the dinner or something like that for me and my ex because we used to live together in Hyde Park. And I think it was my ex that gave me the phone and said, "Oh, you need to speak to your mum." And I was like, "Oh, what's happened?" And she told me about Michael, and I was just like, so I spent half an hour on the phone with my mum, calming her down and everything, this, that, and the other. Little brother was upset as well because he was going to come with us. But I don't know. I was. I can't really remember things, but I think I was just more like even do you know when you see something on the news and you know it's been confirmed and you know even your friends have told you and it's on social media? It was. I just didn't believe it. It was like the same thing when Chadwick died. I had a lot of trouble accepting Chadwick Boseman was dead because I was just like, how can such a lovely bloke like that not be here anymore? You know what I mean? and I just didn't. To be honest with you, I don't think I accepted it for a couple of days, to be honest, because obviously Michael had been 29 at that point. I literally grew up with Michael Jackson. I used to dress like him and literally do the moonwalk and stuff. Well, we had all the albums. I would, because I used to put the records on the record player. Um, we had all the Thriller on, because back in the day, Finn, to be honest, I know you won't get this at all, but we didn't have mobile phones. TV was from 7 in the morning, and then it went off at midnight, I think. So it's not this 24-hour business. Like, literally, TVs went off, like, as in they stopped broadcasting. Um, and a lot of the times, I remember mum and dad at the weekend, obviously I'd be asleep. Well, I'd pretend to be asleep. I'd really play with the toys, reading comic books. But they would just have music on. And a lot of times it was the Jacksons. Obviously, mum played the Jackson 5 for me. Oh, by the way, folks, actually, cheap plug, which is a bit of. Yeah, how ironic, actually. I'm going to see the Jacksons at the Wolverhampton Civic, would you believe? Um, in I want to say it's November. I think it's either at the Wolverhampton Civic or Birmingham. It's one of the two. It's Wolverhampton and Birmingham, which you don't do, by the way, because lots of West Midlands people don't like being lumped into the same group. But yeah, I think it's the Wolverhampton Civic I'm going to. So if Mr. YouTube does not copyright me, because I do have a music playlist as well for when I go to gigs and stuff, I will try and put that on my YouTube. But most of you will know, I'm sure, the whole copyright nonsense with YouTube. It's a right pain in the arse, that is. Do you know, I had to redo a video of mine the other day, one of the charity shop ones, because of a random. It wasn't a random song, but I'd never heard the band. I don't know who it was, but apparently they're quite big now. God knows it was. Anyway, I was filming just some anime figures at Corn Exchange in Leeds, and just because there was this little bit of music that happened to be copyrighted for it, so I had to come out, take that bit out and load the whole video again and cut it together on this uh, on Adobe, what do you call it, Adobe Premiere, and it was a right pain in the backside. But then conversely, I've I've got loads of Liverpool songs where there's been an actual fella at the parade playing the bloody music full volume, and you don't get copyrighted for that. I've been in a nightclub in Shrewsbury, right? Where you might have seen this actually, possibly. Where I don't know if anyone remembers the dance song "Move Your Body" from 1992. So I used to be a bit of an old school dance head. 1992, literally. Full volume. I'm sat there in a nightclub in Shrewsbury. Like I don't know why I put it on. I'm assuming I was drunk anyway. Did I get copyright stories for that? Not at all. And you're just like, what is that all about? Anyway, I missed Michael Jackson for 87 days. Bloody hell, mate, Christ! Yeah, I was going to say you wouldn't have been. Yeah, you wouldn't have been a million miles away, would you? Your age, Finn? What's your opinion of Michael Jackson? Well, like I said, he was the greatest of all time for me, Finn. I mean, I won't speak about the other business because let's just talk about it as an artist. He's the. I mean, obviously, there's older people who are older than me are going to say the Stones or. Well, I mean, you could say anyone, couldn't you? You could say the Stones, you could say the Beatles, Madonna, whatever. I mean, my favourite thing is always going to be Tupac Shakur. Not a lot of people's cup of tea, but I was a huge hip hop head as well back in the day. And 90s. Basically, my era was 90s rap music, early 90s rave slash dance slash house music. I was never into happy hardcore or anything like that. This is what she used to go to the. I should say essentially she used to go to those underground raves in Yorkshire and stuff. Um, if there are any police listening, no, this was. Can I just say this was 20 years ago? She's fine now. Yeah, but yeah, that was my era. I think my era of music film was basically probably 93 to 2002. just because we had the dance music as well. Literally, we had I can't get no sleep. I remember being in a nightclub in Derby hearing that. It was the first time it ever got played, and it was just freaking awesome. When I first got here, there was a song which you might not know. Some people will probably know called "Zombie Nation" by I think it's Kirkencraft 400 or whatever, and it was one of the dance anthems for a good year, couple of years, and it would go off in leaves in like Majestic and places like that. And yeah, those that was my sort of era of music, and now I'm just like my son has to tell me this Sabrina Carpenter was the other day. He literally looked like I just fallen out of a dog's backside, as William Regal once said. And I'm just like, who's that? And she was like, my son's literally like, Dad, Sabrina Carpenter. I was like, I actually said, I was in the series with the witch, and my son was literally out. That's Sabrina the Teenage Witch. This is Sabrina Carpenter. It's like, well, I don't bloody know. Do I've never heard of her. Yeah, like I said, I'm an old man. I don't know who these people, young people. I want to be able to drive. Well, good luck, Finn. Yes, you'll have to work very hard for that, young man. If you haven't realised by now, I love WWE Liverpool Michael Jackson. Yeah, I think I've got a good idea about that. Finn. I am going to get onto the WWE. This is my record of all time at 96 minutes. Maven, you've got glasses. Kidding. Do you know what, Cliff? I'll take that actually. Yeah, I will take that. That's quite good actually. Yeah, yeah. Bless you, Cliff. No, actually, that is quite good actually. I knocked the Undertaker out of the Royal Rumble. Yeah, actually, I suppose I do look a bit like Maven actually, just fatter with less muscles. I suppose. God bless you and your family. Oh, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine, Cliff. As long as it never goes to anything completely rude, I can take I can take the hit, dude. Top three favorite movies of all time are Michael School of Rock, Smoking the Bandit. Wow, that's a hell of a list, isn't it? Oh no, Finn, you've got me thinking now. Oh my god, I always struggle with the. I'll go through the comments. Let me think. Let me think if I can think for top 10. I've definitely got a top 10. Oh, what's happened to this? Jesus Christ! I thought that was Alexander Isak for a minute. Christ Almighty! Well, it wouldn't bloody surprise me, quite honestly. I think cinema is prime corporate entertainment, hence the price. I completely agree with you, Peter. Well, like I said, it's taking the piss now. It's the whole experience has been. It's like people are just sat watching a DVD round at the mate's house, and you're not. You sat with to have a communal experience. I mean, I love the cinema. I love the cinema. I really, really do. So maybe it's me being a bit unrealistic at my age, but I remember seeing E.T. in the cinema, and you heard the when Elliot went up in the bike. You had shivers down your spine. I remember seeing Indiana Jones. Didn't see the first two at the cinema. I saw not Raiders, not Temple of Doom. Oh my god, I forgot the bloody name. The Last Crusade. God's sake, honestly. Um, and I remember seeing the bit with the bit where Indy steps out onto. If anyone's seen Indiana Jones, the bit where he's got to step out onto that path. And I think Sean Connery's dying in the background and says, "You must believe, boy." And it's something like, "Only the penitent man will pass." And literally, the whole cinema was like, "Oh." And when Indy's foot lands on it and you can see the path, it honestly it was bedlam in that cinema. I remember seeing Ghostbusters too. I've got a really funny story about that, folks. By the way, sorry if I will get onto the rest of it. I need to as well actually because I'm down to 43% battery. Ghostbusters 2. Unbeknownst to my father and my mother at the time, I was a massive Ghostbusters fan. I'd been planning for weeks on making a proton pack and using 80s skill that we used to do when we used to do making things back in the day. I stole a box of sugar puffs. I think got some black felt pen or something like that. Coloured this whole thing. God knows how my mum and dad didn't pick this up. I got an old school. You remember the old school kitchen rolls that you could get? Did the same thing. Coloured it all black, and managed to nick a pair of scissors, cut a hole in, got some string out of my mum's bloody makeup kit, whatever it was, and hooked the proton pack gun to the proton pack, or at least my version of the proton pack. And then I think I got in trouble for this actually. I think I clipped off. Those satchels you used to get into the 80s. Well, I thought there was a satchel that was like for charity shops. That turns out it was not for a charity shop. It was the old fella cut these things off and then used to do proton pack. Anyway, I ended up watching Ghostbusters 2 in Telford. And at the end of the film, I decided to go running up to the stage because there used to be a stage, and I decided to start shooting the ghosts. I'll never forget this. I got a round of applause, and just when I got the round of applause, I could just see Mum and Dad running up to the like this, literally like those films where someone like shoots someone and they go no. I think that was the old fella, and I was just like, and then he found out about the straps on one of his bags, and I was just like, yeah, I got into a bit of trouble that night. But yeah, that's my film story. Anyway, Peter, like I said, it's just it's like everything else, and I mean, maybe I'm getting old, dude. I don't know, but I just don't. I just think the experience of the cinema has been ruined. Maybe this is the experience young people have now, but I think that experience compared to what we have is shit. Trading Places, what a film. Jaws, Time Bandits, Trading Places, mate. That I don't know if it makes top 10, it might go in the top 20. I used to wake my older brother up for Thundercats Saturday morning. Yep, yeah. Peter, to be honest, I didn't even do that because my mum and dad, I always used to wonder, like, why did the old people sleep so often Saturday mornings? Like, you'd think they'd want to be up and doing stuff. And I know now as a parent, they were bloody shattered because they've been at work all week and had me to pull up with. But yeah, no, I didn't even bother waking my parents up. Literally, I'd get myself a bowl of cereal and I would sit glued to the TV. Like I said, I think there was a stage where there was Centurions, X-Men, and possibly it could have been Thundercats. It may well have been Visionaries. I can't remember, but there was a period of time basically where they were all on. So yeah, I don't know how much of you know Mike, but the first show was going to be 13th of July 2009. He was scheduled to do 50 shows. At the age of 50 and 51, he had to do the shows because he was about. Yeah, I remember questioning at the time like 50 shows was yeah. Well, yeah. Again, it was to do with it was to do with his overspending, and I always sat there like in those documentaries where he would just point, say, I want that," and he wasn't even looking. I'm just like, Michael, you've got a bookcase over there that's worth 10 million quid. Just sell it. Say basically, sell half of the stuff in your house, and you will be like in the black by £1 million, not in debt by 400. I just don't know. I don't get rich people when they do that. It's just, I mean, it's a bit obscene, actually, to be honest, in certain ways. Um, can you say the thing? Hey guys, man. Hey guys, you probably make photon pack instead of a proton pack with an old TV. Well, like I said, Peter, the one thing, cause my mum and dad were always on the ball with me. They were always on the ball, so if I got into trouble, they'd be there straight away and admonishing me for my behaviour. But I never got away with much from my mum. How I snuck a child-made proton pack into the cinema, I have no idea. I cannot believe it to this day. One of my most awesome cinema experiences, actually, I saw the original Scream in the UCI in Derby, because because obviously I went with a lot of kids because it was like 15 and stuff. And they're all sat there going, "Yeah, we're all 15 watching a horror movie, aren't we? Really cool." I was. I'd never seen anything like it before. Never seen anything like it in terms of how self-referential and breaking the fourth wall, as CM Punk would say, and how meta what Scream 3 was, and how it broke the laws of horror, and this, that, and the other. I was dialed in. I was just like, this is freaking brilliant. I mean, when Drew Barrymore, I'll put a spoiler alert just in case. When the thing that happened with Drew Barrymore, if you've not seen Scream, happened, I couldn't believe it was, because at that point, Drew Barrymore was this, I don't know, this generation's version of maybe Florence Pugh, possibly. That sort of same sort of name recognition at the time, and it was just like, what is this? You know what I mean? But that was one of the great cinema experiences. Let's have a look. Javid Rashid, I used to go to school with you. Did you, Javid? Anyway, no, I'm sure you did, but unless you went to Woodlands Community School in Derby. Peter, as far as it goes about Michael's court case, I think he's 95% to his story. Exact stuff from people. So it's something to do happening now for life. I just think for it's worth, folks. I'm not going to go too much into it. I just think he was very, very naive man who turned into a very, very naive man because he was piss poorly treated by his arsehole of a father. And I don't wish to speak ill of people's parents, but that man was an absolute effing monster. Effing monster. Who had no bearing children, but. Oh! Nearly. Tell you what, Sweden go out here the way this is going. Let's have a look. I've watched Martin Bashir documentary. Yes, I watched it at the time. Finn, it was bizarre, absolutely bizarre. Yeah, no, that was the thing. Yeah, that we were watching 100K. Yeah, 100K and 500K. There was one thing I swear blind. So I remember watching it with my mom. I swear blind there was some sort of replica of a horse or a donkey or something like that, where it cost him like 2 or 3 million quid, and you're just like, Michael, just go and sell that. I know they didn't have eBay. Well, they might have had eBay. Did they have eBay at that point? Well, either way, just auction 10 of your things, and you could pretty much have kept the rest of it. It was, yeah, it was just truly bizarre. I think comments that say this is higher bots. They could be people. This is the thing. The risk that you on with Richard Heads at this time, sadly. He spent millions in that shot. I remember, honestly, I have. That was the one big thing I took from it, Finn, to be honest, was the spending spree. I want to say it was. Did he have a shop closed in Los Angeles for him? It was either Los Angeles or Vegas. I can't remember. It was like a big, big department store, and he was literally just going through. And like, he had these two fellas with him. I think there was a woman as well. And I think his accountants, I think in real time they were adding all this up. And yeah, it was extraordinary to be honest. Right, folks. Just because people have been very patient, right? Guys, if you are listening on podcast, you know what I'm like. I do apologise. I'll put in that I'm going to start at the 108th minute, basically, if you just want the wrestling portion. But I'm just going to talk about the wrestling, basically, folks. So it's not me being rude. Just give me like 10 minutes and I'll whistle through this as quickly as I can. So, Night of Champions. Right, basically, we have, as it stands, 6 matches. I think it's 6 matches. I don't know if I've invented one of them. I really hope I haven't, but still. Right. There's Trick Williams versus Ricky Saints, Cody versus Sami Zayn versus Gunther, Liv Morgan versus Io Sky, obviously for the Queen of the Ring, Obafemi versus Jey Uso. I'm very worried about that, by the way. In the King of the Ring final, bloody hate people. Seth Rollins against Brock Baker, which is a bit weird because they did the last preview or the one before that passed. God damn it. And Jade Cargill versus Tiffany Stratton, I think was about that could have been the one that I invented. I really hope it isn't. Oh, Sweden didn't score. I'll go through in order. Right, Cargill versus Stratton. Basically, long story short, first, Stratton wins. I don't think they'll take the belt off. The thing with Jade as well, I don't know if it's kind of a holding pattern for Jade until Rhea maybe drops the belt to Io, or maybe Becky Lynch gets involved and there's a four-way involving Jade. But my problem with the whole Stratton Cargill thing is, why would, and I appreciate Rhea's injured at the minute, so she can't challenge, but why would Jade drop down to the United States Championship after challenging for the world title? That again, it's just one of those weird things that doesn't make a great deal of sense to me, to be completely honest. So I'll go with Tiffany Stratton to win that one. Let me have a look. Trick Williams versus Ricky Saints. I'm just going to do this one quickly. Trick Williams. Ricky Saints is going to beat him. It's a good opportunity for Ricky Saints, but absolutely beats Trick. Liv Morgan versus Io Sky. Io Sky. Do I think there'll be a run in? I did think there was, but for reasons that I'll get onto in a minute, I don't think there will be with that one. I think Io goes over basically clean. Obviously, it doesn't hurt Liv Morgan because she was Queen of the Ring last year. She's got to the final again, and she's not champion, so it doesn't cause very wrong. Io Sky presumably gets Rhea Ripley. There is a part of me that does wonder, and I hope this isn't going to be the case, whether Rhea Ripley might turn heel. Just because the fact they've kind of already done Io and Rhea, and Io earning Rhea's respect for beating her all the time, and then they became friends. But before that, if you remember, I mean, Rhea did not like Io Sky at all. I don't think Rhea is going to be in Saudi. I mean, I'm guessing they'll be flying out, presumably, tomorrow. In fact, I wonder if they've already. I wonder if they've already gone over. Actually, give the time difference. Yeah, they're probably already over there. I would have thought. I'm just going to go for Io Sky, but I just wonder whether there might be a heel turn from Ripley. I mean, again, I'd say the same thing as Punk. Same thing with Stone Cold Steve Austin. There was no point in turning the likes of Rhea Ripley or Stone Cold back in the day, or CM Punk, because people were just cheerful. There's absolutely no point. It would work for Cody Rhodes, it will not work for Punk or Rhea, in my opinion. Right, into the meat of it. Seth versus Bron Breakker. Again, I don't think there'll be much interference. I mean, there might be some interference where someone goes up to the referee and goes, actually, in all seriousness, can you imagine if someone just did that one? Because I have got a really stupid sense of humour. I would love literally for someone just to go up to my ring and go like that. But that's because I've got a weird sense of humour. Anyway, first big one that I'm going to get out of the way. Well, the big two, because I've done the other ones now. Femi versus Jey Uso. Right, guys, I've given up all hope. I think Jey Uso is going to win this match, and the only reason is I know they've planted the seed with Roman and Oba. I don't think it's early, and I don't think it's too early for Oba to be the world champion. I know there's a lot of people who've got a bit of a problem with that. I don't think it's too early, personally, for me at all. Oba and Roman haven't had much interaction, and they haven't been in each other's orbit. I mean, I take the point that Roman's probably going to be doing the Street Fighter Press Tour, and he'll be gone in late August, after SummerSlam, presumably. And then Oba basically not takes control of the company, but he fights Raw kind of thing. But we know he's fighting Lesnar at some point. We know this. basically, you could have as your main events, just for argument's sake, Becky Lynch versus Rhea Ripley. Let's say for argument's sake, if EO got taken out or something like that, you could have Cody Rhodes versus CM Punk, Oberfemi versus Lesnar, maybe Jey Uso picks Roman Reigns to really throw a spanner in the works, or you could have Roman Reigns, for example, against. I mean, I would love to see Roman versus Braun. I would love Braun to get put over by Roman. The point is, you could have 4 or 5 like top matches. Whereas obviously, if you take Lesnar off the chessboard, then it's a big match that's gone. That's the only reason I'm going for Jey. Obviously, it would then have to be Cody. If Cody retains. I don't want to see Jey Uso versus Cody Rhodes, got to be honest, at all. I don't really want to see Jey Uso versus Roman. Which puts me in a bit of a dilemma because I've just picked Jey Uso to win. So yeah, I honestly, I'm not sure at all, but I've just got this awful feeling that Jey Uso goes over just because of interference by Brock Lesnar. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. And the second lot of interference that I've got down, Cody versus Sami Zayn versus Gunther. I've got this as the one where you could have the most, not loads of run-ins, obviously you've got the most possibilities. So here, if you want to screw Cody over, because let's face it, he'd be the one who gets screwed over, because it would probably come down to Zayn, and then they can keep the storyline going with Gunther, where he keeps getting messed about with title shots and this, that, and the other. Maybe then you could move Gunther on to Oba if he wins the world title. That frees him up to do that, maybe. In terms of interruptions, I think this has got the best chance for interruption other than Lesnar with Oba. You have CM Punk. Do I think CM Punk will get involved in the Cody Rhodes match? I think it's unlikely. However, I would not rule it out because then I've said CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes. Or he could come in and then just beat Cody up at the end after he's taken. Who knows? Randy Orton, not been seen for months now. What, since Mania, so he's not been seen for about 3 or 4 months. That would. The outside shot, which won't happen, by the way, I'm just throwing it out there, just vis-a-vis a bit of entertainment. Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Saudi have paid for his services as part of the PLEs. I think it's unlikely. Also, Dwayne The Rock Johnson is currently filming several movies and this, that, and the other. I really want to see that one where he's the Samoan mob boss, by the way. That looks really, really good. Because he's in a film with Emily Blunt and Leonardo DiCaprio, directed by Scorsese, which is just mental. Look, it's not going to be The Rock. I can guarantee it. Absolutely guarantee it. The one, and shout out to my friend Josh, by the way. Shout out, Mr. Josh. That one of my mates suggested the other day, and I'd not considered this, and I don't know why it didn't occur to me. What if Kevin Owens comes back and helps Zayn? And the only reason, and I agreed with one of the lads the other night, but I also then went, oh, it's because he turned around and he keeps saying his ride or die family. You can't get much more ride or die than Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, so this one's tough for me. Like all the other ones, I was just like, yeah, that person will win. I'm going to push my neck out. I'm going to stick my neck out even. I'm going to go with Sami Zayn to go over. And one of those people to interfere. I'm going to say not CM Punk, just purely for the fact that there's a Chicago Raw coming up, not next week, but the week after, I think it is. I mean, Punk could always attack Rhodes and then go to Chicago, I guess. It ain't going to be The Rock. I think you've got a choice of Kevin Owens or Randy Orton that costs Cody at the time. Now, where Gunther fits into all this, I don't, because I mean, the most obvious people to win that match are Zayn. If it's Gunther, I'm guessing Gunther just goes over normally. Potentially, I don't know. I mean, you could always have Kevin Owens come back and attack Zayn. I don't know, there's a million ways you can go with it. I'm going to go with Sammy's. I'm going to stick my neck out. Sami Zayn goes over Gunther and Cody Rhodes with interference. I'm going to put my mate on blast. I'm going to say Kevin Owens. That is my prediction. I'm going to stick with it, which is going to be completely wrong now, but there we go. I'm just going to go quickly through AEW guys as well, mostly for the fact that I am now like I said to everyone who is listening on podcast, I'm really sorry this is really the end, but I enjoy chatting with friends on this, so that's fun. I'll put a time code. I think I started 12 minutes ago. And again, guys who are now waiting in the chat, it's not me being a rude bastard. I do apologise, but I can't do both at the same time because I is stupid. In terms of AEW Forbidden Door, I mean, to be honest, there's a couple that I can't really give you predictions for. Dominion versus Thunder Rosa and Olympia. That's the buy-in. If you don't know what the buy-in is, that's the pre-show. Dominion, just because Thunder Rosa has been treated like a piece of crap by AEW and Tony Khan for a long time. That's my one sick burn of Mr. Khan. I think Thunder Rosa is an absolutely magnificent performer who has been atrociously used by AEW, just my opinion. I'll go with Dominion. Ultimo versus Pac, I'll go with Ultimo just because they'll need a couple of New Japan people winning. Sky Team versus Inferno Co versus the Young Bucks. I'm going to be honest, guys, I've never heard of the other two tag teams. I have no idea who they are. Really sorry. My wrestling knowledge does not extend to them. Mercedes Moné versus Maya. What's her name? Maya World. Mercedes Moné, for reasons that I'll get on to in a minute. I don't think she's Christian Cage and Adam Copeland versus the Dogs. I'm going to go with Christian Cage and Adam Copeland. However, Gabe Kidd came back the other day because I saw some footage in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Now, you don't know Gabe Kidd. Gabe Kidd, for me, is the best heel in the business at the minute right now, other than Sami Zayn. I was gutted when Gabe got injured. He was the one who had the straight jacket match with Darby Allin. If you don't know, I mean, a lot of you know Gabe Kidd is anyway. I think he's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I was gutted when Gabe got injured, but I think he's just come back for New Japan Pro Wrestling. So could he interrupt? Okay, possibly. I'll go with Christian Cage and Adam Copeland because I think probably a lot of my predictions are based on who do you want to be at Wembley Stadium, which I'll get onto in a minute because they're going to have to start getting that. Because ridiculously, guys, I'm going to be at Wembley Stadium in 9 weeks. Now, I booked this 3 months ago. We're talking 5 months out, 6 months out, and it's going to be here in literally 9 weeks. I cannot wait because I love going to Wembley with AEW. I did not like the O2 Arena. I think that's what most over AEW. Anyway, you guys don't need to know that. John Moxley versus Bandido should be a really good match. This I really like Bandido. Sorry, folks, my hay fever's going again. If there's you notice my speech going every single night this week because the bloody hay fever, my voice starts going. So I'll try and get through this as best I can do. I'm just going to go with John Moxley for that one, I think. Yeah, for no other reason that like it just keeps the Death Riders relevant, this, that, and the other. Maybe Osprey interferes. I don't know, possibly. Why are we re-showing Scotland Brazil? Oh, we're not. We've not had this weather day fiasco. Yeah, Tunisia and Holland's back on. Why are we now showing Scotland? Well, that's when there should be. I don't know. Anyway, moving swiftly on. Yeah, I'll just go with Marks to retain. I think. The one I'm looking forward to most, in fact, my match of the week, I'm not looking forward to most. Sorry, WWE fans. I love these two. Kenny Omega versus Zack Sabre Jr. will steal the weekend of wrestling. I don't even think it's going to be close. Don't even think it'll be close. Not on WWE either, just with AEW or anything. Kenny Omega, Zack Sabre Jr. for me is the best technical wrestler in the world. I mean, that match he had against Jack Perry the other day, shout out to Jack Perry, actually did quite well in that as well. But Zack Sabre Jr. is, it's not just because I'm British and being biased, the man is incredible. If you've not seen Zack Sabre Jr., type in Zack Sabre Jr. He is just incredible. There's a little wrestling joke there as well. Some of the old people might have got it. Have I been through everything? So yeah, Omega versus Zack Sabre Jr. I'm going to go with Zack Sabre Jr. actually to go over on Omega because does Omega need the win? Probably not. Which should leave if I've got this right. Sorry if I've missed a match vote. Because basically I'm using this again because the laptop isn't working. This laptop is being taken into PC World with ye old guarantee tomorrow, so hopefully I'll have my laptop soon. The reason I said Mercedes Monet to win against my world is because Tekla will be beating Starlight Kid from Stardom. There is no way a month before AEW that Tony Khan will want his women's world title being traded to Stardom unless it's a very quick match. For Tekla in Stardom. By the way, Tekla is the best wrestler in the world. I'm sure you guys have heard me say that before. That's not for my Reddit communities, by the way. If you go on Reddit, if you go little r / Tekla fan page, that's my Tekla fan page basically. I've got loads of little bits and pieces on Reddit. One or two political ones as well, if you like some of various Richard heads, if you like them, having the piss taken out of them. I think you can probably tell from my general demeanour the sort of people I do take notice of. Very satirical. I've got one called Geeks in Wrestling, surprise, surprise. Now has 90 members, which I was quite impressed with the other day. And I also do the Anfield Geek, which is obviously Liverpool. So if you just type in Geek on there on Reddit, basically. Either way, the reason I'm going with Mercedes is because at Wembley Stadium, my prediction is going to be it is going to be Mercedes Monet against Tekla. And just as a warning shot, folks, I will be recording the entirety of the If that means I miss something at the end, so be it, because I missed Tekla last year and I'm not prepared to miss her this year, so I'm literally going to record maybe not all of the match, but most of it. But yeah, shout out to my tech heads on the Tekla fan page. It's nice to have a few Tekla people following me now. Do I think Tekla will beat Mercedes Monet? I'd love to go with my heart and say yes. I think it's unlikely. I would like to see Mercedes put Tekla over, not just a huge fan, just because Mercedes Monet drops a match to you are star. Tekla is a star now. She is an absolute star, one of the biggest stars in wrestling, in my opinion. But winning against Mercedes Monet just completely legitimises her. If you can get Tony Storm back, hopefully soon. Tony maybe loses to Tekla by disqualification, then you've got two wins over the two of the biggest female stars, two of the biggest wrestling stars in the world. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. And then Swerve Strickland versus Will Ospreay. Now look, this one's going to be thick. Very quick first. It's definitely going to be Will Ospreay. My only question about this, because obviously Team MJF fighting Team Briscoe. Team Briscoe are obviously going to win, but Mark Briscoe is not going to beat MJF for the title because why on earth? I suppose you could have Mark Briscoe versus Will Ospreay at Wembley Stadium. Doesn't quite sound as good as that. And no effect to Mark Briscoe. I really like Mark. He's really, really top draw man. Great wrestler. Mark Briscoe versus Will Ospreay or Swerve Strickland doesn't quite sound as good as Maxwell Jacob versus Swerve Strickland or Will Ospreay. Now, my only issue with this, if Max faces Will, he's got the entirety of the Death Riders against him. So what, 6 members? Will Ospreay's still technically a babyface, but he's in a heel group. But then MJF can't possibly have 6 people against him, which suggests to me that maybe the Don Callis family get involved just to equal the numbers. Because obviously they'll need something to do at Wembley. I honestly, I don't know. Do the Death Riders turn Ospreay? In which case, what was the whole point? Genuinely, I would not understand what is the point of them turning on Will, because they could have just beaten him up when they kidnapped him. That was the whole thing, by the way. Death Riders did hear me right, folks. Death Riders, including John Moxley, who was once Dean Ambrose, kidnapped Will Ospreay, and now he works for them. Again, this is pro wrestling. Things don't have to make sense. Which does make me wonder if it's Swerve versus MJF. MJF's on his own. Swerve has got Prince Nana, but I mean, I don't know. He's not going to be able to do a lot. The other thing that I have been thinking of is that is Hangman Adam Page to throw into all this. Has not been seen hide nor hair of for what? 3 months now? 2.5, 3 months? You're going to bring him back and cause a scene. You're going to do it at your biggest show, which is obviously going to be London, unless you bring him back for the Casino Gauntlet match. But then again, that I think that still gets you a world title, which Hangman can't go for. I don't know. It's a bit problematic for me. This one. I'm still going to go with Will Ospreay, and I still think Will needs to win it at Wembley. Because if you're going to create a huge viral moment, you need to put the belt on Ospreay for me in his own country. But the fact that the Death Riders, I don't know, because obviously it's going to be 6 versus 1, does make me think maybe Swerve could go over as well. I'm going to stick with Will Ospreay. Maybe it ends up being Swerve versus John Moxley, because obviously Moxley will need a big singles match. I don't know. That actually brings me on to All In. I've nearly finished waffling, guys, by the way. Look at all this stuff. All this juicy gossip for you. Oh, actually, just very quickly, as Boris was saying, yeah, the TNA stuff, just very, very quickly, because obviously we talked about it earlier. So, TNA, it looks like Anthem wish to sell and are looking for new owners. As Boris exclusively revealed earlier, Tony Khan was asked about it, but I think may have balked at the price, shall we say. In fact, I'm going to put the Sweden match back on. Is it back on now? Oh, the Sweden match is back on. Oh, I don't know what they were doing. Anyway, I mean, look, you've got to think it's going to be WWE. I mean, if WWE have bought Triple A, which I actually really enjoyed the other week, by the way, I'm going to start watching that. I mean, TNA rumoured to be worth 40 million quid. I mean, it's a lot of money, but I mean, that's a drop in the ocean for WWE. It's an absolute drop in the ocean. I mean, bugger me, they paid £3.2 million for WCW. Yes, that's how much it costs to buy WCW. In fact, no, it's 4 million. Sorry, I told a lie. Obviously, this is with Sam Callahan. Sammy Callahan, sorry. Tess Blanchard, like I said earlier before, oh dear, how sad, never mind. If you and again, as I said earlier, if you want to know why this hatred of Tess Blanchard, just type in her name online, and that will become very clear to you. Yes, and then Tommy Dreamer got sacked, left, whatever. Oh, Japan have just gone close. Depending on who you listen to, Dreamer apparently was on Busted Open. Saying it was mutual. TNA sources are now like disputing this, yada yada. Yeah, it just seems like a huge mess. This, to be honest, and like I said, I don't know this Carlos. He was the guy that pulled all the independent shows at WrestleMania, and a lot of this stuff does seem to be stemming from him. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, but yeah, it's TNA. Just very quickly, folks, because I'm guessing I have bored a lot of you to tears now, so I will get back to the comments in a second. By the way, I'm down to 80% battery. Thank you for all of you sticking with me this long, by the way. I think that, I think this is the longest one I've ever done. 2 hours, 5 minutes. I can't wait to get a new phone, you guys, as well, because the reason I always have to shut it down is because the battery runs out because I can't get a jack into the bottom of the phone. Because that jack died about a year ago. So basically, I've got access to about 2 hours battery, and that's pretty much a lot, which is very unhelpful. All in, I was going to talk about. So yeah, based on that, matches that I've got down here, I reckon you've got Will Ospreay versus MJF. I think that's a lock. I definitely think there's a chance that Hangman comes back. I think Swerve versus Mox, because I think Mox might screw Swerve over in that match. Tekla versus Mercedes, I would be very surprised it's not the women's main event. I think we'll get a women's gauntlet match because we did it all in Texas last year. I think we'll get a men's casino gauntlet match. Could they rerun Zack Sabre Jr.? 2-1 Holland then. Junior's Euro just scored. There we go. I wouldn't be surprised if they redid Zack Sabre Jr. and Kenny Omega just because Kenny's an opponent. I mean, maybe you could do Kenny Omega versus Okada again, because Okada's going to need a big match. Okada needs to be getting towards world title scene because the way Okada's been used at the moment. I like a lot of AEW's booking this year, but the Okada thing is truly nonsense. He needs to be in the world title scene. In fact, I wouldn't mind Okada versus well. We'll have to wait and see. And I think Hope and Christian versus maybe the Young Bucks is one of the things I reckon might be coming up. In terms of, let me have a look. Oh, Japan have just scored. Sweden might be going out, you know. Japan, I'm trying to work this out. Did Japan beat? Japan and Holland drew. Japan beat Tunisia, so Japan will be on 7 points. Sweden have lost 2, I think. Yeah, they lost 5-1 to the Dutch. I think Sweden might be going out here. Anyway, in terms of other stuff for AEW, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Ronda all in. Maybe Tony Storm comes back. Darby Allin's going to have a big match, obviously. I think that might be that him and Kevin Knight. Other than that, like I said, I'm going to keep working on this and do a preview for all because obviously we're going to start hearing about the matches fairly shortly. You've still got to do things with Andrade, Kyle Fletcher, Willow Nightingale return, Marina Shafir needs a match. Yeah, there's loads and loads of stuff for them to do yet. But the other thing is that I've written down here about those releases because you remember the WWE releases, those 90-day things have or are due to expire. That puts you in the realms of Kyrie saying, do I think Oscar would join AEW? I very much doubt it, guys, to be honest. Could Karrion Kross be tempted from MLW. I don't know. He looks kind of happy where he is now. The Wyatt family. Who knows? And then the most obvious one for me, if you were going to debut someone at London, would be Kofi and Xavier. I think that is going to be your debut personally. But yes, that's the AEW and all. In terms of SummerSlam, guys, just very, very quickly, thanks for sticking with me again. I'm sorry that I've been a bit shit on the comments the last 20 minutes, but obviously I want to try and be fair to people who've listened purely to listen to some wrestling stuff. In terms of SummerSlam, the ones that I have written down for sure, I think you've got a choice of Roman Reigns versus Obafemi. You've got a choice of Lesnar and Obafemi. I think it's got to be Cody Rhodes versus CM Punk, right? I think it must be. I think Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky. I think it's a lock, unless of course it's going to be Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan. But I mean, do we really need to see that again? And that's about it at the moment. I think there's a chance if it's not Punk, you could do Rhodes versus Sami Zayn. Cody Rhodes was talking about never finishing the whole thing with The Rock. So you never know. Do I think The Rock would wrestle Cody at SummerSlam? I just think it's TKO's wet dream, to be honest. I don't think they will ever finish that storyline ever. Becky Lynch has got to have a big match. I reckon maybe Becky Lynch somehow gets involved in the Io Sky Rhea match, maybe. Because Becky Lynch is going to need to carry a belt, but she can't keep doing the United States Championship and Intercontinental. She needs to have the big belt again. I mean, whether, of course, that means the other women's world champion, whose name has completely escaped me now. Oh, Vinci Yokerez is going absolutely mental, by the way. Bloody hell, Yokerez looked like Brock Lesnar then. Going absolutely ballistic. Let's have a look. Was that everything I wanted to say, guys? Yeah, pretty much. Actually. One thing I'm going to turn you on to, by the way. If any of you watch, like watching wrestling interviews and stuff, I'm sure most of you know Chris Van Vliet. Chris Van Vliet is, but Chris Van Vliet has just interviewed Paul Heyman. I'm halfway through it, so I might watch a bit more of that tonight. Actually, fascinating. So, not to end on a down note, but originally, did you know that WrestleMania 18? Paul Heyman was not meant to be managing Brock Lesnar the next night. He was meant to be managing Chris Benoit. Yep. Roman was not going to be called the Tribal Chief. Vince McMahon just wanted to call him the Big Dog. Yeah, this is why you put Paul Heyman in charge of these things and not Vince McMahon. And basically, for long story short, and that's the end of the notes, by the way, Heyman was asked by Chris Van Vliet about Curtis Axel, but then he also brought up Cesaro, i.e. Claudio Castagnoli of AEW fame. And he basically said, for want of a better phrase, that was our F-up. That Cesaro should have been wrestling like so Brock Lesnar and this, that, and the other. And he said WWE have no one to blame but themselves. So I recommend it. It's a really, really cool interview. I'm halfway through at the minute. Like I said, I'm really trying to talk myself out of getting a takeaway, but honestly, so. And now the footy's on. Also, I know there's another. Oh, what a finish! Anthony Elanga. Bloody hell. I don't know if anyone's watching. Anthony Elanga's just scored, maybe not a worldie, but a very good finish anyway. Right, so that puts Japan on 5 points and Sweden on 4. And there was a guy in the Swedish shirt who just looks like Stone Cold Steve Austin. Someone is going to have seen that, by the way. Let's have a look. Anthony Elanga gets the ball, cuts it inside. That's a hell of a finish. That is well done, Anthony Elanga. My Newcastle supporting mates will literally be like, dude, seriously, why can you not do this for us? But there we go. So yeah, folks. Thank you for everyone for listening to me waffle on for the next half an hour. The last half. I will very quickly try and get through the comments for people that's still here. But yeah, thank you guys for listening. Only John Jules was in Scum, the cat. I mean, oh god, I remember watching that. Yeah, yeah. I don't know how much you know Michael Fish. Oh yeah, yeah. I've read that, and I read that. Read that. What did I get to? So we're all going to sleep. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, guys. Look, none of us are ever going to know what happened in that house. Never going to know. I just think he was a very. Sorry, folks, my phone's completely frozen. Hopefully, I can get through this hay fever. I do apologise. Um, can't believe you're not a Red Dwarf head. It's so big. Well, yeah. To be honest, I used to watch it a bit, Peter. But I used to tell you the thing that I used to watch, and I used to have the piss taken out before at school. Everyone in school used to watch Red Dwarf, but I used to be the one that watched the X Files, which I might be making this up. I swear blind there was a time when the X Files and Red Dwarf were on at the same time, or one after the other, and I used to be a massive X Files fan. But yeah, no one else watched it in school because they said it was naughty. And it went on to become one of the biggest grossing TV series and movie franchises of all time. So it shows what those fuckers know, doesn't it? And excuse me, I just swear. Woodlands Community School, Derby. Anyway, moving swiftly on. Yes, actually, let's have a look. I'm depressed and sad. Oh, hi, Kath. You alright? Oh, Holland have just scored. Is that Big Verge by any chance? Who's that? Don't tell me they've scored another own goal. I think Van Hecken might have scored, but it could also be that Tunisia have scored yet another own goal. I swear blind they've scored about 5 own goals in this tournament now. Oh, Sweden again. Oh, they nearly scored again. Oh, I'm sorry you're upset, Kath. I do apologise. So it's WWF when I was a nip, Hulk Hogan and that. Yes, well, as I say, Pete, I've tried to explain this before. I think the character of Hulk Hogan was fine, and none of us will be watching wrestling as it is today without Hulk Hogan. The character of Terry Bollea was non-existent. I know there's quite a few people that follow me who like Hulk Hogan, so I'm not going to go deep into the fact that some of the things that Terry Bollea, not Hulk Hogan, but the man who portrayed Hulk Hogan, Terry Bollea said about people with a passing similarity to me, shall we say, were not comments that I am easily prepared to forgive or so, anyway, Sweden going to go in front here. Sweden going to go in front. Oh. Right, guys, I've got 10% battery left, so I'm going to try and rattle through these comments. My dog destroyed my new Matt Riddle figure I just got. Oh no, sorry, Kath. I do apologise. Oh, that's horrible. That's horrible. I'm assuming you mean the WWE figure, Kath, and not an MLW figure, because if you're interested, if you don't know, Matt Riddle is currently in MLW, and he had a World Championship match with Killer Cross, who was carrying Cross in WWE. I actually only seen Giant Haystacks in the 90s. Oh, no way. A lot of work behind the scenes to do a YouTube channel. Hats off to. Oh, thank you, Peter. To be honest, Peter, yeah, no, I do put a shift in, obviously, but like a lot of the stuff, someone was saying this to me the other day, where do you get all this stuff from? Like, I I can't do maths at all. I got GCSE grade F in maths. My GCSEs were terrible. My college results were okay. My university degree was in media and popular culture, which, I mean, well, I've been the study of drinking, let's have it right. And yeah, not the best student in the world. You get me on wrestling, you get me on football, you get horror movies and stuff. people don't really need to know about, essentially. Like talking to you. I mean, there's one night I'm actually going to do this, guys. I'm going to do like horror, one of these people that are interested in horror movies, and then we can just, I might just title it, "What's your favourite scary?" There we go. That's brilliant. That is exactly what I'm calling it. Well done, mate. Hopefully, I don't get sued by Scream. Um, yes, all that I could talk for hours. You asked me what 5 out of 5 is. I'm going to say 15. I, literally, I wish I could transfer the geek intelligence into something that's actually useful and beneficial. But yeah, yeah. Yes, I do a bit. I do a bit of work with Peter. To be honest, I mean, it's more when I go out on the road. I mean, stuff like this because it's the comfort of my own house or upstairs. I mean, it's easy. I literally just write myself. To be honest, usually, most of the time, that's about as complicated as it gets for me. Write my notes, write all my bullet points, and then as long as it's like a wrestler. As long as I've got a bullet point, I can just waffle on. Basically, I do the same for Liverpool stuff. I will literally give myself a topic. Um, do Liverpool need to uh, re-sign Darwin Nunes, for example, and then I will just waffle the F along, basically. Um, so that sort of stuff is, yeah, I wouldn't say it's easy. It's more when I go out to do some of the filming that's a bit more difficult. Um, Especially the thing I find hard because obviously I cover a lot of Liverpool. I've managed to do really well on the goals, but the amount of times I've literally had to quickly turn my phone back on and someone's running through into the penalty area, you get into your mind, can you just stop the ball a minute so I can get my camera on? But yeah, that's quite difficult. But the rest of it, no, I enjoy doing it, dude. I enjoy chatting away to people now. It helped me a lot last year with my mental health stuff, to be honest, Pete. So it's nice just speaking to some just like-minded people. You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah. No, I enjoy it. And if it, but Peter, to be honest, like I said, in fact, I'll tell you guys. In terms of ye old business, by the way, it looks like we are looking after a conversation I had today. It looks like ye old business will be starting week commencing the 20th of July. In and around the 20th anyway of like July. So we are talking self trading in three and a half weeks, give or take. So yeah. No, it'll be good. It'll be good. But yeah, no, to be honest, if this ever goes somewhere great, if it doesn't, it doesn't. I can just turn it into a. I'll go back to what the channel originally was. Funnily enough, originally it was to promote my stuff. Enough. And then I made a complete 360. And it went from that to doing all this. So yeah, if eBay turn around, if YouTube want to turn down one day and say, yeah, you're shit, you're not getting paid promotion, I'll just literally be like, all right, fair enough, I'll just stuff on eBay in the channel, basically. But yeah, we'll wait and see, Peter. But yeah, no, I enjoy it. I enjoy it. Get a takeaway. Oh, Finn, don't seriously, because it's so late as well, and I really shouldn't be. But I'm so hungry, so hungry. Um, I'll try and be a good boy. I will try and be a good boy. I mean, that list I showed you earlier, guy. I mean, I'm starting to think that list is a bit ambitious, to be quite honest. I watched that interview today. Oh, the Heyman one. Yeah, it's awesome, Finn, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think what I'm going to do with Finn tomorrow is I'm going to sack it off tonight, and then while I'm going in between all these stops, I'm going to have that on, like my earbuds, and just watch it on YouTube, basically. But yeah, I'm hoping for Japan. Yeah, well, they're doing very, very well at the minute, Peter. But I mean, they should be in front, really. I mean, it's 1-1 at the minute, but no, they played very well. I'm really, really impressed with Japan. I mean, like, some of the players technically are absolutely bloody fantastic. The lad with the I'm trying to look what his name's on the back of his shirt. The lad that they've got on the left hand side, the blonde hair, the number 14. He's that bloke, really, really good. Let's have a look. I think Caffle Dude is a bot too. YouTube is weird. It is, Pete. So like I said, you don't know if you're talking to normal people or well, I know Finn's real because he's got his channel, so at least I know he's real. Plus, I've seen my mate Jack Styles in real life. By the way, please check out Finn does WWE and Jack Styles Wrestling for way better wrestling content than mine. They are actually young people that know what they're doing and can make videos. So I'm an old man just about random shit, basically. But it seems to entertain people. But yeah, no, Finn. Honestly, I'm gonna try not to. Do you know what I really want, Finn? To be honest, I don't want to take. I wish I had one of those because we haven't got a 24-hour garage near us, unfortunately. What I'd just like is, them rustlers. You can get hamburgers and hot dogs and stuff. I'd just like two of them. Nothing massive. Cheeseburger and like a rib or something like that. That'd do me. Job done. Might have to do the basket. Oh yes, I'm on to the racism in the world. I've been watching politics forever. I was that guy who provoked you into a politics rant the other week by accident on your LFC live. Oh yes, of course, Peter. Yeah. Oh my God. Yes, no, of course, Peter. Yeah, we spoke on the bloody part, didn't we? Oh, for God's sake, sorry, Peter. I'm sure you would have gathered by now that this does not work very well sometimes. Like I said, I can only apologise. Like I said, my mental health, unfortunately, is basically buggered my entire brain up, Peter. So sometimes I don't know if I'm talking to the same person. And yeah, obviously, yes, I do remember us speaking totally now that you've just reminded me. Bad mental health is foregone for healthy people because you can see. Well, yeah, Peter. Like I said, mate, it was. It took me a long, long time to see it, mate. It took me a long, long time to see it, and it was scary how far away I'd gone. To be quite honest, I mean, now I look at my circumstance. I mean, if I was talking about leaving a job to on my own, self-employed, with my own eBay shop, I would have gone to pieces this time last year. I would have been absolutely hysterics. This, that, and the other. Now I'm just like, do you know what? Life's for living. If it goes wrong, it goes wrong. I mean, I'll have to apologise to the wife for wasting thousands of pounds of our money, and I might get a bit of a kick up the backside from the missus. But I mean, well, things can be rebuilt, money can be gone, and so on and so forth. But yes, thank you for that, Peter. Speaking of which, Peter and folks, my throat is totally closing up now. Really sorry, but I'm going to have to get off, and I've got like 3% battery as well. So yes, Peter, it's been absolutely lovely chatting with you, mate. Top bloke. More than welcome on the stream anytime you want to, mate. Thanks for chatting away with me. Finn, everyone else, all the other people I spoke to this evening, thank you very much for watching. I'm going to try and get this bloody thing sorted out. Joys of hay fever mixed in with colds, folks. Brilliant. But yes, in terms of when I'll be on next, I'm hoping tomorrow, but like I said, tomorrow is going to be a very weird day. Leave it with us. But yes, I should theoretically be on for some kind of Liverpool chat, which I should be able to do before I meet the lads at the pub after I've come back for the third time from my house because it's payday. It's going to be a big one. Anyway, yeah, cheerio, my friend. Yeah, cheerio, Peter, to you as well. Thanks for joining, mate. Cheers. Have a great rest of your night, folks. Weekend's nearly here, and I will see you at some point tomorrow. Enjoy the World Cup, and I'll see you soon. Take care, guys. Bye bye.